Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got another series to play, another set of matches to play, more Rocket League to get into. It's going to be a blast. I'm always here on the desk, but I got a new friend in Crispy. I mean, you're in Premier. You won Premier last season, and now you're getting to jump in to cast some Rising Star. What's with that?
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to see what's going on here in Rising Star. Obviously, coming from Premier, it's kind of a little knowledge gap, but it's always fun to see these lower league players play and progress through the season and see just how good they get.
It's definitely something that we've seen in the past, Crispy, with players getting better and better, moving up and up into those upper leagues and changing which leagues that they're involved in. So many people that have had to come up. Brock himself started way back in Challenger, subbed up to Premier, and now finds himself as a captain in Premier. So, it's always a learning experience for everyone involved, but we're going to need to learn what matches we're playing. Brock, if you could throw up the schedule for me, that would be absolutely wonderful. This first series is going to be a good one because there are circumstances that precede us as to why it's going to be a good series, but you have got the Lumberjacks and the derecho. Interesting thing to note is that this is two of... Crispy, you've got one of the captain for the Lumberjacks is a part of the championship team from last season from the St. Cloud Flyers. He is going against his former friend, from the Des Moines derecho, that being T-Jack. T-Jack not playing tonight, so we have got just an absolute mess. But moving on, you've got the Bloomington Maulers taking on the Steelhawks, the Flyers in the victory, and then to round off the night, the Senators, the Inferno. Should be a blast. Crispy, out of these four matches, which one are you looking forward to the most?
I'm honestly looking forward to the match right after this. I got my former CRL teammate Carl's Nuts playing, and I see him in real life every day, so it's going to be interesting to cast his game here. But for this match, I'm interested to see how Intellect plays. He is subbing in for T-Jack, which, as Stewie said, CT Nivlak and T-Jack. Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant Intellect, the last pick in the draft. CT Nivlak and T-Jack went to win Rising Star last season in 8, so it's going to be I'm going to be expecting a lot out of CT Nivlak here.
Yeah, he's got to really step up for his team. I think overall, he's going to be the X factor, the person who's going to bring the pain to the Des Moines derecho. But I think we're ready to start off on this journey into season number 9. I can go ahead and let them in and let them go because it's time to kick off season 9. We're into the...
Let's get it rolling.
Oh boy, it's going to be a blast. You've both got a sub on the side of the Des Moines derecho, so you're going to see some fun. But Brock, it should be an absolute blast. You hit the field, and I know why the logos are not showing. And I can walk you through that very, very shortly, Brock. But it's overall just the start of the season. So I mean, these two teams really just looking to test each other out.
Intellect with some good control in the corner right there.
It's Crispy. It's going to be really just a testing game, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I just don't know what to expect out of the Bemidji squad. Having them have Intellect playing for them. Oh wait, no. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting match, all the least, to kick off the season here.
For sure.
Seeing a lot of banging around here. I'd like to see a little bit more control, and we could see some first goal of the season in action here pretty soon.
For sure. I think eventually you're gonna see some teams find the back of the net. I think Bendy Straw may have. I think he caught out Des Moines. He did, but big miss.
Blazing
Straw has it.
Left corner. Oh my. That Batmobile hitbox just saved him right there. What a banger.
And
wow.
that one came in quick, Crispy.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah, and that's the first goal, though. The very first goal that we've seen, and it's the Bemidji Lumberjacks that are going to get it.
Yeah.
And I think you're looking at a problem for this Des Moines derecho to deal with, Crispy, because they don't have their high pick, and I don't remember if he was the #1 pick in Rising Star. He was. Appreciate it, Brock. Yeah, the #1 overall pick you do not have on the field, and you're definitely going to be missing him. For sure.
Yeah, you know, Intellect coming in with the last pick in the draft. I'm trying to see a Brock Purdy performance out of him this season.
I mean, he's going to have to really step up to the plate in this series. I hope he doesn't have to have too many more sub-in performances, but good touch from Jaws. A good ball from Jaws.
The back wall. Jaws just taking into his own hands to tie up the game. Wow.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Textbook.
Yeah. I mean, you can't write it much better. As Jaws is going to tie the game. There's still 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. We're pretty much under halfway into this first game, and it's only game number 1. And CT understands that. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
Oh,
I just love that. I know, Brock. I know you're muted. I can hear you.
We see the Bemidji Lumberjacks with a 1-goal lead here, but as you know, 1 second, everything can change. Bendy Straw with the pass mid. Blazing. Oh, wait. Oh, my. The team play from Bendy Straw. Oh, my. What a pass mid. The pass back from Ninja. I don't know if he was expecting to do that, but they find the back of the net.
And that is a 3-1 advantage, Crispy. That is a 2-goal lead for the Lumberjacks, who are trying to defeat this Des Moines derecho side. And they're well on their way from capturing the first game, and they're looking for more as Jaws is trying to get some possession.
Blazing.
And that's been the problem. That's been the problem so far, Crispy, is just the possession. Neither of these teams wanting to take it into their hands. I guess you could say Bemidji has done a better job, but Jaws looking for a bump on Bendy Straw, not going to get him.
Bendy with the dodge save. Yeah, they've really been just, I don't know, kind of playing pinball with each other here. Here we go. I'm just not seeing the control that they want to see. But here we go. Bendy Straw. Soms beats him to the corner. Intellect. Oh, Bendy with the demo and the bump. Oh, no. The shot just goes wide.
Minute and a half still left. And it's Blazing Ninja into the corner with that big flat car hitbox. He's not. That's not supposed to happen.
On the back wall. Wow. I mean, that pop just really left him stumbling. Oh, man. That might just, I don't know, that might just close it, but you know, you can't give up now. There's still 1:30 left, 30 seconds to goal. They can come back from this one.
Bendy Straw, that's going to be on target over John's head, and they're just pouring it out at this point.
Take back what I said. I don't know. 4-goal lead. I don't know about this one. I mean, coming in strong. 5-1 in the first game.
And you're not really, worried about scoring goals at this point, right? I mean, you got 5 on the board in the first game. You shouldn't be disappointed with your performance in game 1. So it's good to see that you're, putting points up on the board. But a minute still left in this, Crispy, and it's pretty much all Bemidji like it should be. Sorry,
yeah,
Brock.
just like we were expecting. CT Nivlax, taking it into his own hands. I mean, we've seen some good team plays, though, out of his teammates. They are definitely, doing their part on this team to take this lead.
Indeed. And they're doing a good job of just filling in the gaps that CT's missing. Is Blazing. Okay.
Blazing with another double. Was that him that hit the first double? No, that was not him. Yeah.
It was Jaws.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see a Brazil? The first game in season 9.
It might be. It might be. I think CT knows that. I think that's something that he definitely would like. Yeah. Please don't happen.
No, we would not like that for the squad here in the first game. That would be kind of not disappointing, but definitely a heartbreaker there.
Oh,
it's okay
sure.
though, you know. Next game, gonna restart, start all over again. See if they can make stuff happen.
Only 20 seconds left. You get Jaws off the backboard, and he's just going to dunk his way through 2 players, as is all but a formality.
Andy Stroud the control. What a low 50.
He's still going.
Is it going to be the Brazil? The double
He's still going. What is this? What are we watching? He's just walking through Des Moines like they're not even there.
Lumberjacks have just been destroying this first match against Derico. Wow.
I mean, what can you do though? What are you supposed to do? If they're just trying to own goal. They're just trying to get rid of the Brazil. They're trying to own goal it. Oh geez, but
wow.
That was fairly interesting. Brock, can you go and mute us for a second? And we're back. And we're live. Sorry about the delay. Had to fix some things on the stream side of things, but I think we're good. We're goody two shoes. A dominant performance in game 1 by the Lumberjacks. The derecho now have to think about what in the world we have to do to get into this second game, Crispy, because they completely got absolutely destroyed in that first game. And now you are wondering what in the world you have to do differently to change things up, because it's just nothing's working.
Wow. Yeah. Bendy, that's his 5th goal of the series already. I mean, he is just putting the pound to the town on this squad of the derecho.
And indeed he is has not been able to be stopped, and he's not the player that I was expecting. I was expecting it to be CT Nivlak, the person that would be difficult to stop. But Zoms, the chair cam, you can barely even see him, but I didn't even notice he was there, Crispy, right away, because he completely came out of nowhere and was able to get that goal to go in and tie up the game. But the derecho down 1 in the series, tying this game up early. And Crispy, obviously possession is a huge thing in these other leagues, but what are some of the things that Premier does better than Rising Star and Challenger? Obviously possession is huge. You got mechanics and ball possession, but for me, it's got to be backboard defense.
Yeah, that is one thing I have realized as well. A lot of the goals that have been scored are just, bangs to the backboard that we see, and they can just not defend those very well. We see a lot of misses. We see a lot of awkward positioning because of those hits to the back wall. And like you said, it's really that backboard defense.
It's got to be more position based, really. But Blazing Ninja gets, I don't know how many goals he has this series, quite a bit, but looking at things in a different limelight, Des Moines has at least kept this game close. We do not see 8 goals in the first minute and a half, but we're nearing close. But again, it's only week 1. So, defenses are not going to be as formidable as the end of last season. You think back to your Duluth Superiors team that was so good in Premier on defense. And, you think back to other defensive teams like St. Cloud from last season. And I still can't figure out why St. Paul is appearing on the screen when the goal goes in. I'll have to check that at the break. But the St. Paul logo just apparently likes to appear on the screen. It's almost like a jump scare, like a April Fool's joke that's late.
Yeah, I don't know why that's happening, but Blazing Ninja with another bang from behind the midfield. The Derico really needs to figure out their third man positioning here in the backfield. It just seems like they're letting balls go through that just, shouldn't go through, in my opinion.
This touch, Bendy Straw again on the ball, has been instrumental for Bemidji so far. Has put up how many? I don't know how many goals. This is their 10th goal of the series, and we're in game 2, and they're not done. They're still going. There's 3 minutes still left on the clock, and that is just going to somehow go in the net. How is that in the net? Intellect though gets one and cuts the lead to 1 here for Des Moines. I have no idea how this finds its way in. And it's just a dunk.
It's just a bad pinch from the corner there. I don't know. It's just really unfortunate, to say the least. But a great dunk from Intellect there. Was that his first goal of the series?
I think it was. I think indeed it was. As Zoms off the ceiling, looking for one more touch. A little bit silly. Zoms says no as the ball gets away from him. It sucks to see, but gonna fall away as DT Nivlak gonna let go for Blazing Ninja. One more touch, and DT Nivlak just goes missing. Blazing has a good touch forward with the demo, and Bendy Straw will relieve some pressure. Good clear from Jaws all the way down the field. As this game just under halfway over, Crispy, and it is a 1-goal game this time instead of a 5-goal game. As I say that, post.
Wow, that was a close one. Bendy, just could not get around it there. That would put them up by 2. Oh, wow, Blazing. Oh, my. Another goal from Bendy, kind of stealing it from his teammate right there. Just, I don't know. The defense, it's just not there from Derico.
No, it's not going to be without T-Jack. I don't want to, I want to give them credit. Like, I want to say that they have a great shot in winning this series, but without their first-round pick, there's only so much you can do. This is really your core of your roster still here, but your big superstar is not, and it is shining through because you have got another 5-goal performance from Bemidji, and a 5-2 game that is completely being dominated by the Lumberjacks, who really, Crispy, are taking this game into their own hands. There's 2 minutes left on the board still, and they are not done. They are not finished by any means. They're still pushing down on the gas pedal.
Yeah, that's 12 goals for this series. They're really going to be high up there on the goals scored per team for the stats this season, just off the start. I don't know if we're going to see in the later series more goals than this have been scored. I'm really looking forward to the next series to see if we're going to have close games. I mean, by far, it's not over. I mean, we still have another game after this because, of course, it is a best of 5. So, will we see this miracle run and reverse sweep?
Yes, it's never undeniable. It's always possible, but from this series, how it's looking, I don't know how possible it is. But we can always hope. We can always say that it's gonna happen. But with how Bemidji is looking, yeah, I mean it's a 6 goal per game average at this point for them. And they're still not slowing down. CT's got the 13th in 2 games, and the derecho cannot find a defensive stop at this point. I mean, this is now a fight for a will to play defense, but more than likely a fight to find a touch, as Des Moines struggling to play any defense at this point, as this is tough for them, but I will give them credit. They're doing everything they possibly can to slow down this Bemidji offense, who now have 7 in back-to-back games. If we go to game 3 and they score 7 again, I might lose my mind.
Yeah, again, just not having T-Jack on the field there to match CT Nivlak, it's just, I don't know, it's just, you can't do as much as you want to do. I mean, I'm not trying to rip on intellect by all means, but
okay.
I mean, with your that's 8, that's 15 goals scored here for the Lumberjacks. It is just a strong start to the season.
I mean they're bored, Crispy. They're bored at this point. They're like, okay, we're just gonna score our 8th. We're done. But again, like you said, without T-Jack, I mean, we're not trying to harp on the derecho too much, but I mean, he is the number 1 pick for a reason, and without your number 1 pick, it is going to be very hard to win a series against a team that is comprised this well as Bemidji is, and they're drafted quite high. And overall, what we've seen from them has been really nothing short of excellence and brilliance on their side of scoring goals. I mean, what is this? This is 15 now, and we still have a game 3. They're not done. They're going to go into the 3rd game and have to do this again to win the series, but it doesn't even seem like they're breaking a sweat at this point, as we got 3 seconds left. Crispy, they're putting in a 9th. And this is just, I mean, this is like record breaking. I mean, I got to look at what the record is for most goals in a game, because they're nearing it.
Wow, yeah, I really like the use of the car choices on the Lumberjacks. I mean, we got one using the Batmobile, Blazing Ninja, and another with the Dominus. You don't see that too much on the field. You usually see a lot of Phoenix and Octanes.
It is indeed rare, and what isn't rare is a win for the derecho. What isn't rare is a win for the Lumberjacks, as we still are trying to we're looking at Brock's information. We're looking at the 32, the 33, and the number 64 pick all on the same team. So tough for the Lumberjacks, who are playing against a stout Bemidji, or tough for the derechos. They're playing against the stout Bemidji Lumberjacks side. So I mean, you can only do so much, and we're going to move on to game number 3 and see what we get from Des Moines. Maybe they have a rebuttal of some sort, but it's tough for them to do much here. But you can only look at so many things and wonder why they're struggling on defense. It's more than likely just a simple thing of not being in the right position, not finding the right position, and Bemidji just exploiting that, finding a way to put themselves in the right position. And Now going into game number 3, Bemidji really has dominated this. I don't see this going any other way. I think this is done in 3, Crispy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to agree with you. I mean, Derico just, they're not getting those control touches that you want. They're really giving the Lumberjacks a lot of opportunity and space to work with the ball.
Whoa!
CT Nivlak, was that a pinch into the goal?
I think it was. Yeah, it was from the middle of the field on Intellect. It's just going to go all the way in. Yeah, he definitely is happy about that. As I don't know how that's made its way into the net, but it did. And I guess you could say it's cheese, but it's not really cheese. That's a second for Bendy Straw right off the kickoff. And that is about as quick of a goal as you could possibly see. Jaws backflips and Intellect tries to cover for him. And that's just really, really difficult, I will say, to defend on the side of the derecho. As Zoms maybe gets one off the kickoff. The bump comes in, but Bendy Straw still sitting in front. And it's always interesting to see the names that people come up with, because Bendy Straw is... I don't know where the heck you get that from, but it's just it's their prerogative.
Straws are bendy.
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
No, he definitely is conforming to the norm of what a straw normally does. But I have seen metal straws before that don't bend, unless you make them bend. But a minute in, Crispy, it's a 2-0 lead for Bemidji, and I don't see that changing.
Yeah, a missed opportunity there from, I believe it was Zoms, who hit off the back wall. Oh, wow, what a dribble by Zoms, taking it by himself, 1v3 down the middle of the field. I mean, that was beautifully done. I want to see another one out of them to tie this game up.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see more. A better, more cleaner chance for Des Moines, but the derecho able to get on the board and cut the lead in half, but CT doesn't want any of that. Finds a pass to Blazing. That's a good cutout from Jaws. Maybe Intellect can get down the field. Kind of a chance, but can't get it on target. CT gets the touch, and Zoms left back tail between his legs. That's just going to go on target. That is such an unlucky bounce. That is not going to go the way of the Des Moines derecho.
Yeah, right there. Just, oh man, that is so unfortunate. I mean, you said earlier that first one might have been a cheese goal, but that third one is definitely a cheese goal. Just an unfortunate touch.
And now 3.5 still left, Crispy, and Bemidji still trying to pour it on. Their goal per game average is still through the roof. And even if they were to somehow drop this game, you're still looking at a game 4 where Des Moines have to do it again, and they have to win 3 games, and it's so difficult to come back. It does not really matter who your foe is, but it's always tough to be down in a giant hole like this, because the best possible thing you can do is to stop digging, because you can only go lower. So, I mean, overall, it's just been all Bemidji. That is such a good touch. CT gonna clear up the open net.
Yeah, they just have so much pressure on this Derico squad. When it's in their end, they just do not know what to do. You see them flying around everywhere, just jumping to try to get a touch at that ball in a clear. But it just doesn't seem to work out for them this series.
And not much is working. As Bendy Straw gets to clear down the field. Jaws a good touch across. Maybe either one of his teammates are there. Zoms, though, will get dunked by Bendy Straw. It's just in the middle of the field. This just has a good touch around. Intellect. Here, one more shot. Will be cut away by Bendy Straw as Jaws to the backboard. Maybe one more touch forward. Zoms will just stay on and look to set up something for Des Moines to work with. This is an open net for Jaws. He has it, but CT is sitting right in the middle and has the save. As Bendy Straw.
What a save by CT Nivlak there.
Yeah. That's called defense at its finest. Something that we all need to learn how to play.
Not the Duluth Superiors in Premier last season, that's for sure.
Maybe not. No, not quite. They're pretty good. They're pretty good at stopping shots.
Pretty good. Really.
Really good. Yeah. I don't know. I never got to play them at their full strength, so I wasn't
your
prepared.
brother did.
Yeah, but I wasn't on the field, so I didn't get to play. I got to cast it. It was even better. I got to watch the game 7. It was so fun.
Tom's putting it in. That is wow. That they could come back from this. I mean, you never know. The Cinderella story could come true. Top left slot. We'll see. 2-goal lead.
It's a minute and a half still left. You have got some really clean opportunities for this Bemidji side as they're looking for one more. Intellect, though, a good save on the backboard. CT. Another pressure touch. Good clear from Jaws. And like you said, Crispy, this game's not over. If you can get one more touch into the midfield and get one more, you'll cut the lead to 1, and then you got a chance for overtime. But Bemidji spreading out. They get the clear all the way down the field. Intellect has to get back, and he does get the save, but CT was bearing down and was looking for the 5th. Won't get it as Blazing Ninja, another good clear up to himself, has a shot to the top corner, and that is just beautifully placed.
Yeah, that'll do it. Blazing Ninja, just a beautiful bang to the top wall and being able to follow it up there. Wow, just a very good shot. I mean, there's nothing you can do really there as a defender. He just perfectly placed that one.
There's a minute still left, Crispy. 60 seconds. And Bemidji holding all the cards, up by 3. And a lead like 3 would definitely be confident. It's 4 now. I mean, I can't even say anything without them scoring.
Wow, how many goals is that in the whole series by the Lumberjacks?
I mean, that's what?
21?
Yeah, something like that. It was 9 in the last game and 7 in the first game.
22.
22 in 3 games. 22 goals.
Wow.
In 3 games. I mean, yeah, you got to feel for the derecho though. It's a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick, and their final sub pick. They don't have the number 1 overall player in the draft playing, and they're still able to put up 2 in this game, and then in the previous games put up a couple, but it's going to be tough to be structurally sound when you don't have your main structure piece there. But a good job for Des Moines is they're looking to still get some points back for their own mentality, but Bemidji is flying high above the rest, and
that'll do it.
I mean, that'll do it. In 3, a quick series, 22 goals put up by the Bemidji Lumberjacks, who are going to win the first series of the season.
Yeah, wow, that was just very strong performance out of the Lumberjacks there. Of course, you just can't do much without your first pick. I'm looking forward to see what they have for week 2 here, coming back strong from this loss, and we'll see what TJack has to offer.
Indeed, and I mean, overall, it was definitely a series that Des Moines would have there would be a different outcome if TJack was not on the field, and I think overall you would see something new possibly for the Des Moines derecho, Crispy, if they did have TJack on the field. You could see something different. We could have a different scenario come about, but overall, it was a great first series, and I'm excited to look for more as we can take a look at the schedule and see what other series we have. Got the Maulers and the Steelhawks. That's the one you're looking forward to. It's the one I'm definitely looking forward to. Is I mean, I don't really have any final thoughts on that series. It went about how I expected it to go.
Yeah, they just could not get those controlled touches. Like I said, it was just the Lumberjacks were just beating them on and off. Not on and off the field, but with that speed of theirs, their mentality, their confidence, just outmatched them.
Indeed. And if Brock wants to throw it back to us, that'd be great. But yeah, no, always a pleasure. The first series of the day is always a blast, and I'm excited to see what we get. But Brock, we got next series coming up, Maulers and Steelhawks, and that one will be shortly. We'll have a couple minutes of break, so don't go anywhere.
She found a way into my heart. Oh, oh, she don't make out, no, she make art. And I need a way to treat it, 'cause I keep getting high off of her. Off of her. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. Back to long nights can get me feeling lonely. Hey. And hearing music that can make me smile. But the way I feel with her cannot be explained. But one thing still remains on my mind. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad.
They say that life's too short to be holding this tight. So why am I walking light? And in this world of light and color, I'm not afraid of the night. When this future's so bright, that I got all these friends and we're like, it's not the end. Whoa. This new world is ours. This new world is ours. And all these friends, and we're like, it's not the end. Whoa. This new world is ours. This new world is ours. This new world is ours. They say that life's too short, and I can feel in my bones. The horizon is close now, now, now. And the world's been changing lately, but after the storm, we come out strong now, now. And I got all these friends, and we're like, it's not the end. Whoa. This new world is ours. This new world is ours.
Got wandering eyes that I seem to follow. Can only stay still for some time. I've never aligned with the city's pulse, so you and me was a dream at first. I got lost in your world, in your universe. I never thought our love would ever end. I messed up, made it worse, pushed you away. All that fighting and pain till you left one day. Wish I could take back all those things I said. I can't deny that I miss you, and I know that you miss me too. So let's get over our issues and go back to me plus you. I know that things weren't perfect, but I think it's worth it. Nobody knows you like I do. I can't deny that I miss you, I miss you. Let's go back to me plus you. I can't deny that I miss you, and I know that you miss me too. So let's get over our issues and go back to me plus you. I know that things weren't perfect, but I think it's worth it. Nobody knows you like I do. I can't deny that I miss you, I miss you. Let's go back to me plus you. I'm a mess, I'm a wreck when I see your face, and I know that you're feeling exactly the same. Let's stop pretending we should stay apart. Tried to meet someone new, but they can't compare. And I know that I'm being a bit unfair, but you're the only one that's in my heart. I can't deny that I miss you, and I know that you miss me too. So let's get over our issues and go back to me plus you. I know that things weren't perfect, but I think it's worth it. Nobody knows you like I do. I can't deny that I miss you, I miss you. Let's go back to me plus you. I can't deny that I miss you, and I know that you miss me too. So let's get over our issues and go back to me plus you. I know that things weren't perfect, but I think it's worth it. Nobody knows you like I do. I can't deny that I miss you, I miss you. Let's go back to me plus you.
Goddamn, would you look at me? You're an amazing motherfucker, that's what everyone sees. Ain't it funny how you wanna be the best, but you can't even get up and get dressed? Wasted, face it, you're never gonna make it. Rockstar.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, about the delay. Had a couple things go wrong with the stream, but I think we're good to go. We got them, everything sorted out. Crispy and I are still hanging out, still having a blast. The Premier Season 8 champion is still upon us, and still excited for some more Rocket League. We got the Maulers and Lumberjacks. Your CRL teammate here playing in this series. What are you looking for? Are you looking for him to be the step-up player?
Yeah, I actually am. He played very well on our CRL team. He's made a lot of progress in the last couple of seasons of RL. One thing to know is that the Fargo Steelhawks ended Season 8 last year as #1 in points per team in all leagues. So we're looking to see something out of Fargo Steelhawks to keep this going, or will Bloomington, shut them down?
I think it's going to be definitely a battle. For sure, as I think we have everyone in lobby. Just waiting on Brock to get in here, but everyone is in, and Brock just joined us. Perfect. I think we're ready to go. And my prediction for this series, I'm gonna be honest, this is a tough one to call, Crispy. I honestly don't know who's gonna take it home, but I think I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with the Fargo Steelhawks. I feel like their team is just comprised a bit stronger. Overall, so we'll see what we get out of this, but it is time to kick off the game, and as we are into game #1, and the logos have disappeared from the again, Brock, you can go to studio mode and go to score and fix that if you want. Super simple. The scene, buddy. You got to find the scene overall there, goofball. It's up. Yeah.
Oh, Windy here taking to the air. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing how this Bloomington Maulers squad plays, because I have not seen much out of any of these players. I know that Carl finished second at LAN last year in Season 8 for Rising Star. So I really am going to go with Maulers here. Go against my Serial teammate.
That's surprising to me that you're going against your own friend that you wouldn't want to pick overall. It's going to be definitely a tough series for Bloomington, but it's going to be a tougher series for Fargo because Bloomington is already down a goal, and they're already staring down the barrel of a gun. And it is 1-0 already for Bloomington, who are a minute in and are looking pretty darn good for sure. But should be a fairly interesting series nevertheless, and I'm excited to see what we get from this Fargo side. Obviously, you got Shraxel, Windy, and Carl's Nuts. Carl's Nuts coming from Brainerd last season, made LAN, and got second place. Obviously, not looking for a second place this time around, Crispy, because winning feels oh so good.
Oh yeah, you know, I can admit to that one. That first goal, we saw a backflip out of Carl. I don't know here. He is first runner. Oh wow, Divine with the dunk to take it up 2-0.
Yes, that is beautiful from Divine, who has his second goal and is a friend of Ori's and was recruited into the league, made his way in, and was able to get that first goal on the board, and now the second one, and now a 2-0 advantage. And it was going to be a fairly interesting series for Bloomington's side, as this team is three players that I don't know if they've ever played with each other. I'm not sure if that's a thing. And, you know, Crispy, when you're putting your team together in draft, you obviously want to look for players who already have previous chemistry, because, I mean, it's just something you really can't teach.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Oh boy, we're seeing a lot of. Oh no, I missed out of Divine. Seeing a lot more control out of this Bloomington Maulers squad, definitely more than last series that we saw. So that's a good sign here. Zest bringing this to the air. He has a pass mid. Divine double taps with him, almost scores that with a pre-jump. Here we go, Divine. Oh, a side flip. Brian got the control. I really love the control out of this Maulers squad here in the first half of the game. It definitely has proved as successful because they're up 2-0. As another shot goes on net, that'll be saved by Carl, but it'll be redirected to the middle. What a save out of the opposition.
Is this game nearing it's under halfway? It's more than halfway done, and it's been all Bloomington so far. I picked against them, and I'm kind of eating my words. Didn't really know how good this Bloomington side would be, but they look good so far, Crispy. You're putting a lot of pressure on Fargo, who, I mean, this is really just a battle possession. Who plays their possession better? And so far, Bloomington has done the better of that. So we now look at this game as really Bloomington's to lose. As here they come, pressing forward. Disastrous. Good touch off the backboard for Divine, as Brian was kind of stuck forward and was able to get back and able to rotate very, very quickly. As that's a good touch across to Windy, but it's Carl in the possession, shut down by Zesterus all the way down the field into that corner. Traxel has to possess with not a ton of boost to work with, as a good clear comes out, and it's going to go all the way down the field. A minute left, and Fargo still have yet to find the back of the net.
Yeah, one thing I'm really seeing out of this Mauler squad, Stewie, is their ability to control the ball, not only on the ground, but as well as in the air. I see Divine, he had a really nice controlled air dribble at the beginning and almost hit a sidewall psycho in between the first minute. Really impressive out of, I believe you said the rookie player, Divine. Very impressive.
Has not played yet in MCS, so yeah, as a rookie, as Brian gets a demo on Carl all the way down the field, as Windy collects in his corner. Only 27 seconds left on this game, and Divine is pressing forward once all of this first game. Good touch from Zesterus into the corner. Straxel, good touch midfield. Carl's there. The 50 comes out, but Windy just kind of drove into it. Didn't expect that to happen, as there's only 10 seconds left. And Crispy, it's been all Bloomington as they get 2 goals from their high pick, their rookie player. And a massive game from him as Windy's looking for maybe one. Not going to happen to that. Going to hit the ground. And Bloomington will take game number 1 in clean fashion, shutting out the Fargo Steelhawks.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting here is we see only 5 shots out of the Maulers compared to 8 of the Steelhawks. I mean, their offense is really there, but Mauler's defense just is shutting them down each opportunity that they get.
Indeed. And just trying to figure out what's going on with Brock's logos, but other than that, you see the post-game stats on the screen and a complete shutout. Good shots though for Fargo, who had some clean opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net. Had some good chances to find open opportunities, but it was Divine and Zesterus who were able to find the back of the net. Was it? I mean, I'm struggling to figure out as to where Zesterus came from, because he had 504 points to end that game, and it seemed like he was the person to be putting up a lot of the pressure. And it's fairly interesting to note that you see him come out with that many points.
Yeah, going into game 2 here, I'm very fond towards Bloomington taking this second game. I don't know, we've already seen 1 3-0 tonight. I would really like to see at least 1 game taken from both squads, but like I said earlier, I'm going with Maulers in game 2. Oh,
as you say that.
They're gonna make me eat my words.
Yeah, as you say that, 17 seconds in, Crispy. Tough touch across. Windy gets the touch in the midfield. The shot comes out. And yes, there is 2 transfer windows. And Crispy, I hate to ask, my friend, but how's the team looking this early on in the season?
Oh, man.
I mean, I hate to ask, obviously. I mean, obviously, these 2 teams playing in their first week, their first series of the night, or of the season, and of the night, the only series of the night, is there's no double headers but Divine looking for a double tap off the backboard, can't find the second touch. But obviously, neither of these teams thinking about roster changes just yet. Hopefully not. But, how different is it, Crispy, in a season when you're thinking about changing your roster, then all of a sudden you find some sort of chemistry with each other and you start to play very, very well? I mean, is that what you think is wrong with Fargo at this point?
Well, I don't know. I'm not seeing too much that's wrong with Fargo here. They do seem very strong. They put a goal in, but it's all coming down to the little mistakes that they're making. Missed touches, backflips is what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
How a lot of the goals have been going in.
For sure. And Straxel will go missing into the corner. Divine gonna have to play some defense. Only 29 boosts to his name. Can't really do much. Won't be able to even fall on the ball. Fargo's just gonna wait for him to fall on it and get away from it. As Carl looking for a double touch off the backboard. Carl hits it again, but can't put it on target. As Zesterus will leave it for Brian. Brian and Divine going to work their way out. Brian over 1. Leave it for Divine. And this is some good team play so far for Bloomington. Putting it together for sure. As Carl has one more touch forward. Zesterus across the lane. Looking for anything for his team to put in the net. But Straxel in the corner has full boost. Look at the best touch. As that's going to go all the way down the field, and Zesterus will meet it at the helm.
That was a beautiful double tap by Carl. It just could not find the back of the net there. The ball going into the corner. Windy with the control. Divine, Carl with the clear. See Carl following it up. Oh, he's taking it to the ground. An interesting choice. He could have definitely air dribbled that to the air there, but he decides to take it to the ground. Divine, a bang upfield to Windy. Windy with an awkward touch,
Ooh.
but Brian with the shot to the left.
So, you know,
Windy
you
here.
may... Go ahead. I apologize.
No, you're good. Zesty, wow, what a redirect. Brian with the trade. Go ahead, Stewie. Take it away.
As Zesterus goes missing, Brian down the field has one more touch. Brian, I think the third round pick for this team, has played a good series so far. Has not looked like the third round pick for this team, but I'm trying to figure out as to where he came from, because yeah, he is indeed the third round pick. That's fairly interesting. As to figure out where he came from, as he's having a great series so far for Bloomington, but they are down 1 in this game, so you can't count Fargo out just yet. But Fargo still has most of the pressure and most of the boost, and that's one thing that's going to go off the backboard. That got scary real quick for Brian's POV, is he nearly own goaled it, nearly putting it into his own net, and that's always something that you don't want to be doing when you want to win games. As Windy all the way across the field for Schraxel, 60 seconds. Bloomington got to find 1 to tie this game and find 2 to win it, but they got to get out of their half first, and not a ton of boost for Brian, as I've been on his POV for most of the time and has been starving for a lot of this game.
Yeah, the pressure's really there from the Steelhawks side, but they have just been missing key opportunities. I believe I counted 3 there that have just went wide by a mere inch. They're still winning, but they definitely could have taken those extra goals to go up and have a cushion.
Now that this game is starting to wind down, you're going to want those chances back, because they are only going to come so many times. And as the season progresses on, and like we said, defenses are only going to get better at stopping each other. So you're going to need to capitalize on every open opportunity you can think of. As Divine into the midfield, good touch forward, but kind of gives it away. Ryan off the backboard. Is anyone there? Zesterus, it has to be him. Maybe Divine, good touch forward. 2 people go for Fargo, as it's just going to bounce and roll down off the corner of the ramp. And Fargo will prevent another sweep. And Crispy, we at least get to see a game 4.
Yeah, it's a very different atmosphere from last series. We're seeing very low scoring games here, and we really love to see that, because that means that both of these squads are evenly matched and they are playing at their, I wouldn't say best, but they are definitely playing at an even level.
Indeed. And now that we see this, it's going to be fairly interesting to see what we get out of this Fargo side going into game number 2, or game number 3, excuse me. I think it's just going to be a test for them to see what they do as far as things go. But it should be fairly interesting to see what we get out of this Fargo side. Can they keep the momentum going? Can they keep things going as far as the series goes? But yeah, it should be fairly interesting to see what changes are made by Bloomington, who took the first game in a clean fashion, and then game number 2 came up and they couldn't get on the board.
Yeah, as we go into game 3 here, got Trax going against Brian on the kickoff. Brian with a delay kickoff. Trax bringing it to the air, kind of gives it away there, but Zest there with the control. Oh, the missed flick, saved by Carl. I mean, out of the first 15 seconds here, I'm not seeing a lot of control. I don't know if that's going to stay up or keep up, but I'd really like to see more control there, as Carl gets bumped by his own teammate and has an open shot for a goal. That's just wide. See, that's what I'm talking about, Stewie. I mean, there are these opportunities that you can see for Fargo's side, and they just cannot capitalize. It's just not going for their way.
I feel like if they had more capitalization, they'd get more than just one goal per game. Because right now they're pretty much their average, not even that half. As Zesterus off the backboard looks to possess. Divine with a good catch. That's a lot of boost to work with. Maybe a flip reset from him. Just going to stay on it. Looking for a 50. Brian, kind of weak touch. Windy all the way down the field. Straxel, can he touch this? He can. He just leaves it. And Zesterus saw him leave it and just respected that he was not even hitting the ball to begin with. Carl, a good clear. And now we're starting to see part of the game where teams are getting nervous and making small mistakes, as nobody wants to be that person who screws up. But this time around, Straxel will capitalize off Divine's miss, and that's a 1-goal lead again for Fargo, who are on the board first and are looking at a good advantage going into this game number 3. We're pretty much 60 seconds into it, but now a minute and a half. As I mean, this is as close as it could possibly be.
Yeah, that goal really resulted from an awkward pinch by Brian there. You know, with the ball, you always want to be careful with it in your own corner, and he kind of just left Divine there awkward with no boost for that play.
And I mean, the no boost factor, Crispy. I mean, when you don't have boost, it's really the decisions that you make down the field. If you're going to go for a ball, if you're going to extend for a play, how much risk are you willing to take without any boost? That's a good team play for Fargo put together, but that's going to go, whoa. I thought when he had that, Carl did though, and is going to slam down the rock, as that's a 2-0 lead for Fargo.
Yeah, they're keeping the pressure here. I mean, the shots are equal 3-3, but we have seen the Steelhawks with the shot advantage these last 3 games. I'm curious to see how Maulers are going to respond to this 2-goal deficit here, as Divine controls it off the back wall. An awkward bounce into the front of his net. Tracks, takes it up the wall. 0 boost to play with. Takes that low 50. Carl. Divine with the block. Brian with the pinch into his... Oh my. We have been seeing that all night from midfield, and another one goes in as Brian pinches it off of Windy's car into the back of the net.
Oh boy. I don't think Windy's going to be happy about that, as that cuts the lead in half, and 2:29 still left to go. As Straxel, good catch across, or kind of loses it though and loses possession. Carl all the way down the field. Zesterus, a good touch forward, looking for one more. Maybe it's Divine to do it. He puts it on target. It is saved away, as Brian kind of loses control of the ball and is not able to get it going, as Divine towards the net, and Carl will shut that down, get another challenge on Brian, and we was looking for a bump on Zesterus, but I mean, the midfield right now being controlled by Bloomington, they're hanging on for dear life trying to tie this game.
Yeah, Zesterus going to the corner here. Divine with the control of Divine getting bumped. Divine's control this game, I've realized, is very, very good for, I would say, being a rookie in Rising Star. I feel like he's definitely has a lot more experience than most Rising Star players.
I agree. He's definitely shown it, has been comfortable in this game, has not made a ton of mistakes. I mean, yeah, it was the reason for one of the goals for Fargo, but that was an unlucky pinch that not a lot of people can do much about. But Divine, a good touch upfield. Zesterus was just turned back and didn't receive the pass. In a minute 10, time ticking away. Brian, maybe one more touch, a good 50 behind Traxel, but Traxel again on the challenge has a lot of boost after it. Divine, good touchdown. Is this just gonna pinch, and Brian doesn't get it on target? Carl, open net, will put it through and find Windy midfield, and the 2-goal lead is back.
Yeah, that might do it. A great pressure by the Fargo Steelhawks here to just keep the momentum going their way. I'm seeing a very strong squad being built here for this first week of Rising Star. Can't wait to see what they have left for game 4. Is this game 3?
It's game 3 indeed.
Yes, I can't wait to see what they have left for game 4. See if they'll take it away, or if the Maulers, by a 10% chance, come back. See if they can take it.
Indeed. They need a little bit more. Lady Luck has got to be on their side for a little bit longer, because they are on the losing end of this battle, as that's going to go on the backboard. And Brian, good touch, shut down immediately by Windy. A flip reset maybe is kind of useless a little bit, but will go off the backboard again on Bloomington's half. They're stuck in their corners with not a ton of boost. As Straxel kind of dribbles and doesn't really gain a lot of ground. Only 6 seconds left. It's all but a formality. Fargo on match point, looking to put this series to bed.
Yeah, that'll do it there for game 3. The Steelhawks coming through. One thing we realized again is that they had a really strong defensive hold this game. They're being outshot by only a couple shots, but still, those shots by the Maulers definitely put up some pressure, but the Steelhawks there to shut that down and just remain to be strong on defense and offense.
I think that you could look at overall this series is going to come down to a war of attrition and who wants to play for the longest, because you have got a real battle that is going on between these two teams, and you see the stats and why is everyone from Fargo scores. Divine unfortunately has 4 shots, does not find the back of the net, and I mean, you see the saves that Fargo had to make. I guess you could credit that Divine shooting percentage to the defense from Fargo stepping up, but game number 4, they're going to need another step of performance here to put this series to bed and win their first series of the season.
Yeah, Stewie, I don't want to be wrong here. I'm rooting for Maulers here, but you'll never know. You took Steelhawks for the winner, but I'm still sticking with Maulers. Not going back on my word.
Definitely. I really like the composition of Fargo's team. Windy, a player that has seen success in Rising Star. Carl, obviously, land finalist last season, was very good for that Brainerd side. I did draft Carl, so I kind of have an idea of what he's capable of. Has had a good series so far, but it's been his teammates, Crisp, they've really stepped up, and we haven't seen an insane performance from Carl, but he's done a good job of just enabling Windy and Straxel to really do whatever they want.
Yeah, they all have equal stats this game. Carl, I believe, having 500 points last game, putting him on the top of the squad. And as we see, great control out of Carl there, and just Strax with that bottom right corner slot.
Beautiful play, and a beautiful lead in game 4 for their advantage, up 2-1. As Carl, a great touchdown field, putting pressure on Divine. Divine kind of gives it up to Windy, though. Cesaris, good 50-50. Huge challenge from him. Will keep the ball away. Divine trying to put it on net. Carl shuts it down. Carl has been a menace in the midfield for Bloomington to deal with. They haven't been really able to deal with him yet. Brian off the backboard. Divine towards net, but it's right onto Carl's nose. As Carl does not have a ton of boost, but is able to turn that one away. And his decision with no boost to stay on the ground was definitely the right one, Crispy.
Yeah, a lot of composure and confidence from Carl there. You see a lot with these lower Rising Star players. You see a lot of flailing around and panic within games when players have no boost, but he made the right decision there and was confident to stay on the ground with no boost there to make the play.
For sure. And now, this game, not quite halfway over. We're nearing it. We're getting close. Brian, good touch forward. Carl, sitting on his back line. Cesaris towards net. And you've seen it so far this entire series. Fargo, when they get the ball down the field, when they get it moving, the pace really, really speeds up. And they thrive under that speed of play. As Bloomington looking to put their foot down and get one on the board. They've been shut out for... they got one last game, but... no, they didn't get one last game. What am I saying? They've been shut out for most of the latter half of this series, and Straxel keeps it going. He gets his second of this fourth game, Crispy.
Yeah, the same shot there. Strax just has something for that bottom right corner. He just keeps hitting it back and back to back. It could be it here for Maulers. They have to win this game to go to game 5, and we would really love to see a game 5 for this Rising Star series.
Indeed. And they got to find some form of possession. Got to find some goal back of the net, maybe. But it's Fargo. When they get the chance, they make it count. They make it always work. Straxel off the sidewall into that corner. into this Bloomington corner that has seen the ball for the latter half of this. They're both on the ball, and Carl just has to sit there and watch them, as no one is going to put the ball on net but Traxel towards the side. Windy, mid-50s. This is going to really go across the field. Brian off the backboard. Carl is there, though. That's going to be on target, and Carl continues his masterful performance in Game 4, looking to lead his team to a win, and he's pretty much got them on the road to victory.
Yeah, I mean, the Maulers just cannot put the ball in the back of the net, and the Steelhawks are doing such a great job at it. The Maulers here, 2 minutes left to go. They have 6 shots. We are equal on shots this series, but the Steelhawks are just taking it away with that offensive precision.
I would say offensive confidence, too. They definitely, when they're getting the chances, they're definitely confident in themselves. Carl off the save from Divine. Divine may have caught out Fargo here. He kind of did, but Traxel is going to get back with nothing in the tank. And you wish, if you were a Bloomington fan, that one went in, because they got to find something to cut this lead down. As Brian is kind of just going to drive off the backboard, and Divine and Brian run into each other on the rotation. Carl, free ball possession, will get dunked, but I mean, it's all just about killing time now, Crispy. They got the lead. Why even take the chance of getting down the field and overcommitting and giving Fargo a free one?
Yeah, they really have a smart play style that I can see. With a 3-goal lead here with a minute left, it's really all a win if they just stay safe and do not double commit for that ball. Oh no, as I see, they got caught pretty far up the field here in that play. You see Strax and Carl both far up. Windy is just not ready for that and prepared as Brian puts it in the back of the net.
Pinch goes all the way over his head. Yeah, and Windy was not ready at all, as they will get one with 55 seconds left. It is a 3-1 advantage. Carl off the dunk with 46 seconds as the time is ticking away. Strax looking for the hat trick. We'll get it by everyone. Windy hits the crossbar. Bloomington going to be saved right now by the 4th man, as Carl just going to possess this ball and waste all the time. Doesn't have a ton of boost. Can't really get anything going, as Brian is going to get one, but we'll have a foot reset. Zester is off the backboard. Divine is there, has the shot, but Carl shuts it down. Counterattack immediately for Fargo, as that's an open net, and not able to make contact. It's a 3-on-1, and poor Windy's sitting back there, but he is able to make the save and get the clear. 10 seconds left. If Fargo don't give the ball away right into their own net, they will win this series, and it looks like they will confirm it. Fargo Steelhawks going to start off the series and the season with a win.
You know, Brian might have the first flip reset attempt in Rising Star this season out of these 2 series.
And he was close. He was close. He was definitely close to that.
A little bit.
For sure. But was a good series, a solid one at that. Gave us 4 games of funsies for sure. But I mean, overall, you see the post game stats. 6 shots from Divine again, was not able to find the back of the net, and that is what the theme was. Crispy was. Divine not able to find the back of the net. Had 10 shots in these last 2 games, was not able to score in a single one of them. And I mean, you see Straxel going 2 for 4, Carl going 1 for 5.
Yeah, you see this in the whole series. You saw these players not being able to capitalize on their opportunities, but nonetheless, Fargo kind of found that rhythm after Game 2, and they kind of really pulled it back to win in Game 4 there. One thing that I really did not predict was that Fargo, again, is going into the first week with a win, and we'll see if they lead number 1 again in all league ranking.
And like last season, I mean, they held it the entire time. I will say, Crispy, though, they had 3 teams go to LAN, and not a single one of them was able to even make day 2. So, I mean, they had a tough go of it on LAN, but definitely on the season they've been the best franchise so far the past couple of seasons when it comes to points total. So we'll see what they get, but yeah, from Crispy and it's been a blast. I'm excited to see what the next series has to offer, but Crispy, I appreciate it, my guy. Always a pleasure. I can't wait to see how you play on Saturday, but I don't get to play you, not yet.
Yeah.
But eventually we'll run into each other. I'll give you your free win. Exactly. Yep. I'll give you your free win. We'll run into each other, where it's going to be a blast. But for now, Rising Star will have to do. We're going to jump into the third series in just a bit.
This feels a little too perfect how we are now. You think I throw a little caution, but I don't want this to change. Been waiting too long for a moment like this. Said that you won't leave, better off with me. The kind of feeling I can't explain. Like how it feels drenched in the moonlight. Like how it feels under the stars. A step out of bounds with our own plight. A push towards the peace in the hearts. If it rains down all on us, drown out the noise, and I'll trust the mirror, mirror on the wall. Is it fair to watch me fall, broken up in pieces? Can you see me bleeding? Mirror, mirror, tell me please, if these broken memories are enough to break free. Will it fix us slowly? Each day I'm moving along with what fits best for taking me forward and back. It all I know still leads right through to the start of the end, where the past can't chase us. You should stay for a while, disregard all the masks. If it's you and I, will be okay. Like how it feels drenched in the moonlight. Like how it feels under the stars. A step out of bounds with our own plight. A push towards the peace in the hearts. If it rains down all on us, drown out the noise, and I'll trust the mirror, mirror on the wall. Is it fair to watch me fall, broken up in pieces? Can you see me bleeding? Mirror, mirror, tell me please, if these broken memories are enough to break free. Will it fix us slowly? Will it fix us? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Is it fair to watch me fall, broken up in pieces? Can you see me bleeding? Mirror, mirror, tell me please, if these broken memories are enough to break free. Will it fix us slowly? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Is it fair to watch me fall, broken up in pieces? Can you see me bleeding? Mirror, mirror, tell me please, if these broken memories are enough to break free. Will it fix us slowly?
moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but time my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall.
waiting.
Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
lift me off of the ground. I close my eyes and I wait for the come down. I used to live in the now. Now I'm wiser to think that we are bulletproof. Teens with thicker skin, now we just bruise. We were hopeless and we're hopeless now, but I remember we threw our fists in the air singing. I remember when we were kids, never scared, yeah. And the sky went dark, we used our hearts to guide us. You showed me you care, and I remember, yeah, I remember. Now, but I remember we threw our fists in the air singing. I remember when we were kids, never scared, yeah. And the sky went dark, we used our hearts to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another series, another game to play, another bunch of Rocket League to watch. We've seen the last series went to 4. The series before that went only to 3. It was a quick series for Bemidji at the beginning of the night, and now Bloomington has fallen in 3, or Bloomington has fallen in 4, excuse me, after taking the first game. And I'm excited to see what we get in this next series because it's familiar foes. Always a blast in Rising Star to see what teams are put together at the beginning of the season. But Tibbles, I mean, this is previous teammates against each other. This is previous enemies from last season against each other. And everyone's looking to start off the season right.
Yeah, no, they definitely are. And, you know, week 1 of MCS, season 9 coming in. Rising Star is our lowest league, but there's a lot of drama, a lot of entertainment, really, you know, close matchups. And we got one here. So, unfortunately, we don't have any context to go off of since it's week 1. But yeah, like you said, there are matchups that were had in the past that they're going up against each other now. Got some new faces on those teams as well. Rayoe, is it Rayoe? Can you
Rayoe? I think it's just Rayo. Right. Yeah, Rayo, right. Debu, and
Watermelon
I think
Man.
it's Rayo, Debu, and Watermelon Man. But Watermelon Man, I believe, is not playing. I believe it's Iwu instead, who is their sub, a fellow caster. But that's gonna be tough to say. Tibbles, Rayo, Iwu, and Debu. that's gonna be a blast.
I was so excited to say Watermelon Man too.
I was too, and he's not playing. So we've got Ori, Link, and Blasky. I'm excited to see how that team works out. But special teams, special play, special players. As I'm excited to see what we get. It's gonna be a blast to start off this night. And Tibbles, my guess for this series, my prediction, I feel like it is going to be the St. Cloud Flyers winning this despite having a sub. I feel like Iwu is going to step up in this series and win them this.
Okay. I'm going to go the opposite way. Okay. All right. Good. They did save that. But I'm going to say victory in 4. I think Ari, you know, he's had some experiences in the past where, you know, he wants to go challenger, thinks he has the experience to. And this is where you prove it, right? You know, you got to try it again. Go to Rising Star and prove your worth. Show why you should be a challenger. Lasky maybe looking for that touch himself, but they are getting closer. And yeah, so I'm going to say game 4 for victory. And I think the sub will change things as it usually does.
I agree. I don't know if that's for the better or for the worse, but
right.
Game number 1 early on. We're still quite early in the series, Tibbles. We're still looking at these beautiful players in their cams, they're so ready for the season to start. Everyone excited to kick off season 9. And Tibbles, it is crazy to think that this has been going on for 9 straight seasons. And
Yes.
it's been an offensive show for both teams. They've had good offensive chances, but nobody able to find in the back of the net just yet. We're 60 seconds into game 1 as Rayo in the corner looking for some possession for the Flyers. But Ori, that season 9 champion, or season 7 champion, excuse me, looking to be a season 9 champion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Rayo, I like the patience there. Not only on the offensive side where, slowed the play down a little bit, on the defensive side too. It might not matter. It's bouncing on the goal line. Blasky was there to put it in a dangerous position, but Ari is the one that finishes it off.
A beautiful shot from Blasky that just barely doesn't make its way through, but it does find its way through with Ori's confirmation. And 3:31 to go. 1-0 lead for Brainerd. Looking to start off the season right. And that's what I talked about at the beginning. It's what it's all about, Tibbles, is you want to start off with a win. You want your confidence to be super high. And St. Cloud are a team that are comprised of 3 players that I thought would be very solid this season.
Yep.
Even their sub was a good pickup, but Blasky and Ori want a backboard touch. Looking to just possess this. Rayo's looking for the bump on Link, but Link doesn't even move and is able to get the save and a good turnaway touch as Blasky collects at the midfield with full boost, looking to find something for the Brainerd victory.
I really like Blasky's wheels. I don't know what they were. They Black Zombas possibly.
Something like
but no.
that.
Yeah, no, I noticed that they looked pretty cool. Yeah, for the Flyers side, I'm still mentally preparing myself to say Ibu, Debu, and Rayo. Rayu.
Rayu.
Yeah, so Rayu. Wait, is it Rayu or Rayo?
It's Rayo, I think.
Rayo. Okay.
I mean, you can never know these days. Everybody has a million different things that they have, but
Rayo himself.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's just beautiful. And Debu, the hype man, was the guy that I wanted to see for this series. That is ridiculous. That is unbelievable from Rayo, who ties the game. And there's 2:26 still left, but that is an insanely good shot from Rayo. As this game pretty much at the halfway point, Debu wants a backboard double. Saw him on the Chicago Jungle last season make land, but fall in that lower final. Wants to get back to land, would be awesome, but Tibbles, there's more chances than ever as the top 8 makes land.
Yes.
And since we have no play-ins, it's going to be as open as ever for these teams as Iwu. The sub coming in will get the lead for St. Cloud.
Yeah, a little bit awkward from the victory. I'm a little bit confused. They look a little disorientated on that one. And the defender in the form of Blasky was not ready for that kind of shot. Barely squeaked over his car. But they do find that lead for the Flyers here. Rayo off the wall. Blasky opting not to go for that one. Iwu downfield. Back to Rayo. Another passing play for the Flyers.
Just look like a 3-headed monster at this point. This Iwu does not look like a sub at all. It's a great touchdown. Field finds Rayo. And we'll get that 2-goal lead as this game is now in control, firmly in control for St. Cloud, who are on top, Tibbles, by 2, looking to stamp their name into that win column first, but Brainerd may have something to say about it.
Yeah, no, Flyers proving me wrong here, or possibly looking to prove me wrong. But yeah, the thing is that even if a sub comes in, that's not necessarily a spell of doom, right? A sub can come in, have a great performance, even look in place of the player that they're replacing, like they're designed to be there, like they were drafted in that spot. And that's what I'm seeing for the Flyers so far. I was expecting a little bit more from the victory, and especially Ari and Blasky. Link getting beat on that one. Ari almost own goaling. It's off his own crossbar. So much space for Debu, and he's just going to keep possession in the corner.
Debu using his space wisely. That's going to roll the front of the cross of the box. Rayo! Is it going to go in? Blasky, though, sits behind it, and a huge play from him as all 3 players from Brainerd scrambling. Iwu towards the middle. And this is what Crispy was talking about earlier. No way, please don't do that. Oh, boy. As it's just going to all the way down the field on the St. Cloud. But yeah, this is what Crispy was talking about earlier. The panic that is created sometimes by these players, and that happens in Rising Star is, one one touch can really throw an entire defense for a loop. As 30 seconds left, Ori, maybe one more touch towards the net. Blaski will be shut down by the man that is Ziwu. As Link, a touch forward, man, caught the open net, and Deebo's just going to own goal it in 22 seconds. This game ain't over.
Yeah.
Poor Deebo.
That was a great idea from Ori. I actually really like that idea. And Link had the intelligence, the smarts to be able to turn around on that one in the midfield and get a shot on target. And you know what? It was own goal, but I like the play leading up to it, right? You know, they're showing that they have offensive power back, but Blaski's going to get bumped off of that one. No shot coming in from him. Still in the Flyers' corner, though. Link putting on some pressure. That is a great touch from Deebo. Just swipes it right by him. Over to Blaski. A miss on the side wall now. Rayo, the last one back, already there to shoot it. It's saved away by Deebo. And all the Flyers got to do is put it on the ground. They do, and they take game one. And you know what? Congratulations to the Flyers there. And I think the sub did really well. But I think there's two main problems for the victory here, Stewie. The panic, like you said, when they were on defense, I just had head and hands. Like, oh no, this does not look good. You know, it's popped up right on top of their goal, right in front of their goal, and they don't look like they're going to clear it. And then the Flyers, you know, they're solid. They look pretty chill and calm. Yes, they had an own goal, but I think that does not tell the story of what happened this game.
No, not by any means. 7 saves from Rayo was huge on defense for on this St. Cloud side. And it's showing, that does not happen often. you don't get a player with 7 saves alone by themselves too often. So Rayo getting that is absolutely massive, but we'll see what we get in this next game, as we have got another opportunity for this side. But I think overall it's got to be what you're expecting out of this St. Cloud side. They've been composed really throughout this entire series, but even with a sub, I thought this team would be very solid with 2 players that are really a good core, and then you get a third round player who's solid as well. But Rayo falling in the draft, and St. Cloud are capitalizing on it early.
Yeah, and I want to go back to, just real briefly, something that happened last game where Rayo... Big demo by Ari. That's just an open net. Nobody's there. Everyone backed off from the Brainerd victory there. Nobody was there to capitalize across the goal. That might just be in. No, it is saved away. Oh, no. That is a horrendous touch by the defense, but they do finally get it out. Blaski with a bump there. Ari to beat 2. Only Rayo on the back line. He does get that touch through. Now Link off the corner. Over to the backboard. Iwu will get one touch, but some pressure on by Blaski. He just goes right by him. It's a story over and over again. Link getting bumped. Ari will come in to save the day, but it's once again chaos on the defensive side for the victory.
Iwu, a good touch. Maybe one more all the way down the field for Blaski. Looking for one more. Really can't find it, but is able to put it through. As 3:30 still left in this game. No one scored right off the kickoff, which is good news, but Blaski meeting the pole at the summit. Ori, one touch forward. 3:30 still left. As I keep talking about the time, as it's like it's going to tick down even faster, but it's not really. But if one of these teams score, I'd assume they want the clock to go a little bit quicker, but that's not unfortunately how math works. But St. Cloud still in control of the series, but have not scored yet in the second game, and you have to wonder, when they score, is it going to come in bunches, or is it just going to be one goal that wins them this series?
It really depends. That miss by Link does not give me very much hope for the victory, but you know what? They're hanging in there for now, and I think that's what matters the most here, Stewie, is that they're not conceding goals. They're keeping it together, and then hopefully for them, they'll be able to go on the counterattack. But what I was saying before was, Deebo backwards on that one. In game 1, Rayo was literally in the victory goal when he scored that that redirect, or whatever shot that was. He was in the goal when he went up for that, for the victory, I should say. And that domination is just continuing here. They are dominating possession. They are dominating the challenges, the speed, the passes, everything. Look at that shot.
This is beautiful from Deebo to the top right corner. You cannot get it cleaner than that. As Deebo will give the St. Cloud Flyers another lead in this series, and every time they've gotten the lead, they've held it. And as Rayo, the demo comes through, but it still doesn't even matter, as Rayo gets his second, and Debu made that play happen, just took the demo from Ori in his face.
Debu is a Harlem Globetrotter. You know what that made me think of? The people who can, swirl the basketball around their arms and just flick it up wherever.
Yeah, that's what
I
he
mean,
did, yeah.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I just love the touches coming out from the Flyers here, and they look comfortable. They look chill. Debu just possessing it. In the Flyers' corner. But Ewu will have to get back to that one. That's a miss, so some defensive mishaps happening for the Flyers as well. Another one for Link. Blasky will... No, it's off the post. Link crashing in, but can't find it. All three Victory players in the corner, and they finally put one through.
Blasky, the tip of the spear, just kind of bumps the ball up. As I don't know how that is finding its way in. That was an absolute mess on their back line, but they're able to get it through. And the good news for them is, yes, it indeed does count for them to get a goal for that. So we'll see what happens to the rest of this series. But Rayo, good touch forward, Link, big bounce, maybe one more touch. As he's got 60 in the tank, but is not able to do much. Blasky forward, still has 60 boost left. Link is on the redirect. He just fakes it. Debu falls for the magician's trick as the game is tied, and Brainerd on the comeback, able to get 2 straight.
That was a diabolical fake on the back line there. But you know what? Victory, they have found themselves back into this game, Stewie. I'm not going to say they deserve it, but you know what? That's where they are. So that's where you got to accept that that's where their location is. We'll have to see where their destination goes. Ori, that's a miss from him. Still in the Victory corner. A miss on the back line. Debu in the midfield over to Blasky. I like that pass idea. Shot, it's grazed across the goal. Rayo just on the counterattack. They pushed way up far. Ari cannot get back in time, and all the hope that Victory had from those, 2 interesting goals is now gone.
It's a simple play of not getting caught with your pants down, and they do get caught with their pants down. And not trying to say that in a weird way, but it's just something that can't happen, Tibbles. It absolutely cannot happen if you're going to stay in this series and stay in this game, because you go down 2-0 and you're staring down the barrel of a gun that is getting larger and larger as the series goes on. Ori towards the mid, and he's going to hit the top right corner. The miss came out from St. Cloud as Brainerd have another interesting goal that somehow finds its way to the back of the net.
Wow. Debu, that miss there, that would have been probably one of the most explosive 50s that we would have had this series, but that miss will cost them, and even in Rising Star, you're going to be punished. If you miss that kind of challenge, you're going to be punished. That is a great pass, a Link, a save from him. I believe he's the third coming in for this Victory team. Great save from him. Still 3-3, and, hope starting to return, maybe, if they can get that performance going. Like I said before, they're not conceding goals. Now they're tied once again, and if they can, bungle a goal together, they got to do some defense here first, but they might just have a chance here.
A little bit of a chance for Debu to put the game to bed. Huge save from Ori all the way across the field. Link having a decent game, has 2 assists and 2 saves, but had that fake on the goal line to get that second goal for Brainerd that ultimately became useless for them. But I like that Brainerd is still in this series. They're still not giving up. 6 seconds. Rayo over 1. Link has some boost to work with, but a double commit from Brainerd came out. Ori will get the touch. Debu can't keep it up in overtime in game 2. Who is going to take this? And it could be a series point, or it could be a tied series. And if you're a Brainerd fan, you definitely don't want to see Rayo go for the shot as Ori shuts it down. Blasky, good possession on a monster flick that comes out, but Debu with a pinch all the way down the field. It's 15 seconds into OT, and we're already seeing chances to the St. Cloud side.
Victory have somehow found themselves in overtime in this game. Not really sure how that happened, and you can really see that progressing in the game as I speak. I mean, they were under pressure that whole 29 seconds of interesting overtime that we had in game 2, and there you see that passing play on your screen where Flyers did put one through, and match point for them. They definitely deserve it. And Victory, like I said, they came back on that one, and there was a good play, to be fair. I'll be fair to them for the third goal. That was actually a good play from them to tie it up in regular time. But since then, it has not looked great. And I think they need to, take a second. All right, what's going on, right? We need to hit the ball. 3 games now, you got to win. You're in a reverse sweep situation. Week 1, you want to pull out a win. You got to fix that now. Absolutely, right now.
There's no time to wait. I mean, if you feel like you have all day, you don't. I mean, overall, it's been St. Cloud to step up in the series and put Brainerd to bed. But I think overall, it's been St. Cloud's series to lose, as they have really come into this and done a great job of just taking over the series when it matters the most. Brainerd has had a couple of good opportunities, a couple of good goals that they put in the back of the net.
Yeah.
This comes down to how many goals can you score and how many goals can the other team score? Because you're gonna need more than 3, obviously, because they give up 4 and they don't win the game. So game 3 going to come down to a war of attrition as to who's going to last longer, really. But St. Cloud on the verge of a win and a sweep at that.
With a sub as well. I think that's a really important variable. They don't look like they have a sub. This is one of those situations where, maybe it's their good performance or a not so great performance from the victory here, but I think they look great. He's coming in, I believe it's Iwu as the sub coming in. Wait, is it Emu or Iwu?
It's Iwu.
Okay. All right,
it's Iwu. It's going to be tough to say all season long. If this team is ever together again, I might lose my mind. Rayo, Iwu, and Debu.
It's too much.
Yeah, it is. Can only be bothered so much to get our pronunciations right. But unfortunately, no, Crispy, it is not the Derico, it is the derecho. And I do like the Derico very much, but this is a good start though for St. Cloud. A great pass across from Debu catches that Brainerd defense lacking.
Relax, Frank, Forza, whatever you're going by today. No, you're absolutely right. Victory does not look like it's taking the victory. In fact, they were all 3 of them were on the same side of the field. No demo coming through, a miss coming through as well. Deepu will miss that shot. Rayo with a follow-up. No, that's saved away. But victory, not looking great right now. They might have a chance right here. Blasky forward, but again, that touch will just go back to the other team. Deepu pass 2. Deepu will have to pick up the pieces in the back line. R8 just to send that downfield. Link to follow. Rayo up to his own backboard now. Maybe able to follow up on it. Still in the corner. No boost. Past 1. Or he will have to make a save here. He does. Back to his own backboard. Iwu re-jumping on that one. Ego challenge coming through. Still in the victory corner. Rayo, huge pinch coming through. Can he get past another one? Bumping Blasky on the backboard. Still hesitant. Flyers are still in the half. Blasky will finally be able to break out.
And you're still looking at this as a series that you definitely want to win. If you're on the side of the St. Cloud Flyers, you definitely want to put away because you got the 1-0 lead, Tibbles, and it's 3 minutes in, or we're 3 minutes to go, and 2 minutes in, and you definitely want to get it done. But Ori has something to say about it. Going to step up for his team. The captain of this Brainerd victory side is able to get 1 and is able to even us up, Tibbles, and now it becomes a hairy scenario of who is going to crack first, who's going to make the big mistake that ends off the night.
We are seeing the victory's strategy develop in real time.
Yes.
Take the shot and then score the follow-up. I mean,
Yes.
That was the play right there. And it worked, to be fair to them. Flyers were expecting that hit to come through. It didn't, and they scored off of it. So, you know what? Fair play to them. Don't want to say anything about that, but they still have a Flyers offense to deal with. Rayo trying to put one through. No double touch. Will be back for Blasky in the midfield. Over to Ari. I like that idea, but the execution was not there.
It's 2:20 still to go. Still plenty of time. It's still Brainerd on the back foot, down 2-0. And they gotta dig themselves out of the trenches. Maybe it's Link to do it. Gets the read off the backboard. Debu doesn't make it, and that's the backboard defense that has been a problem. has been plaguing a lot of teams tonight, and it plagues St. Cloud here as they are able to get that play through. As this is going to be another chance for Brainerd to put this game to bed. Can they do it with 2 minutes left? It will be surprising if St. Cloud is able to have some sort of rebuttal to this, but St. Cloud still on the offensive foot is, again, on a 2-0 advantage. You can only say that they're going to win this game because, I mean, they won the previous two. Brainerd looking to change their fortune just a little bit.
Yeah, I love that explosion of offense from Link over there. And I've been talking a little bit... Okay. You know what? We're going to talk about the Flyers instead because Debu just scored. Tied up the... Oh, man. What is that rotation? Blasky not able to get the challenge. Will turn around on it. And that is a free shot for Debu.
And he is not going to miss that too many times as Debu looking to put this game away. Has to find another one, though. And that's the big problem, though, Tibbles. Got to find more than one. Cannot afford to find only one as it's still tied at 2 apiece and there's a minute 20 left. Still plenty of time for this St. Cloud side to put this game to bed, put the series to bed, and overall just win against this Brainerd Victory side who has given them troubles in this series. This has been one, Tibbles, where you can call it a sweep, but it's not really a sweep.
No. Oh. All right. So what I was going to say before is that Flyers actually looked really solid early on in the series. That has waned a little bit. We just saw a miss right there. That's not a great touch either. Thankfully for Debu, he'll be able to follow up on it off the wall now. But I feel like their touches just haven't been as good. Their rotations, they're... as I say that, Ryu bumping his own teammate. Blasty getting that one off of a giveaway by the Flyers once again. And I got to give credit to the Victory. I think they've really, kind of found themselves, got that offensive rotation going. You can see up until that play right there, they were basically camping in the Flyers half. So I love to see that improvement from them. We're 15 seconds from heading to another OT here in Game 3. But will they able to hang on for that OT? Will they able to take it besides Game 1?
Game is almost done. Debu as... Yeah, Game 3. Heading to overtime.
Was the OT in Game 1 or Game 2?
It was... OT was in Game 2.
Okay.
Yeah, OT was in Game 2 because Game 1 was a win, but it's been close.
There we
overall,
go.
As Ori will get us to a game number 4. We'll confirm overtime as Link with a good touch. Debu gets caught, not the best, as Ori gets the follow-up and the bump comes out from Link. And they were able to get the shot to go through as Brainerd will get us to a game number 4, and they won't go to bed just yet, Tibbles.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, because I bet all my channel points on the Flyers, but sorry to the Victory. Great win. Yeah, like I said, an awkward touch from the Flyers there in overtime. And the Victory were able to capitalize on it, namely Ori. And looking at the scoreboard, that's exactly the performance I was looking for from him. You would expect him to be one of the better players in Rising Star, possibly, competing for a spot in Challenger. So, yeah. So definitely a great performance from him. Link, putting in a shift as well. I'm looking for a little more from Blasky for it to be a more cohesive team effort. But this is a start, Stewie.
Indeed. It is a start and a half almost. It's like getting your foot in the door in a job interview. It's like, hey, I'm Ori, Blasky, and Link. We're gonna get her done. As I think overall, it's gonna be a fairly interesting situation indeed. For this Brainerd Victory side, Tibbles, who have got to get it going now. It's all or nothing at this point. Again, another game where they're back against the ropes.
Yeah, I would agree, but the one thing I would say is that for their credit, they were never down a bunch of goals, and actually they're going to score early on here in Game 4, courtesy of Ari, 12 seconds in. But they were never behind by a lot of goals. They were just kind of struggling for that lead.
As a good start from Ori once again, as Ori has been the guy, Tibbles has been really the man to put the ball in the back of the net. And he has had to step up really, honestly, throughout the latter half of this series, Tibbles, to put the Brainerd Victory in a position to win games.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, if they can follow up on that, I have some really high hopes. And for them, the strategy should be, all right, we got one goal, 40 seconds in, let's extend this lead. And Rayo is going to throw that back in my face and score one for the Flyers here. But a great play, flick past one. Ari just going to be beat on the defense, gets demoed as well. And yeah, tie game.
And it's a good start, though, for Brainerd nonetheless. Able to score first. It's important that you score first because that is really where you get the momentum. You get the momentum to push yourself through the series and to win the series. Because if you can start, good and strong, it's going to win you the series at the end, really, rather than the beginning.
What impresses me most about this Flyers team, too, is if you watch their positioning and watch how they treat the ball, they're passing to each other, they're swerving all around the field to try and get the ball to each of their teammates. They're not just like hitting the ball wherever. They have a plan for the ball every time they have it, and you can see it develop. That shot from Debu there will be wide. Link up to the ceiling now. We'll give it away to Rayo, though. Back pass over to the Flyers' corner, past one, and that challenge coming through. You're forcing it, but that just looked a little bit too easy. Already blocking, still in the Flyers' half, and for Victory, they want to push here. That shot easily saved away by Debu now. Has a chance to get a possession downfield, still on the wall. Already up for this one, has plenty of boost to follow up on it. It's a 50 over to the other side, and I love this pressure from Victory.
I love the time that they're taking on the ball. They're really pressing forward and giving themselves an opportunity, Tibbles, to put this game to bed. And it's gonna come down to who wants it more, who wants to win the series and put the game down. But right now, Brainerd having the latter half of their chances. I think overall, if they can find the way through, they can, as Blasky is able to get it done and to get the lead back for the Brainerd Victory, who are on the warpath, Tibbles, two-way reverse sweep.
Yeah,
I want to jinx. Sorry to cut you off. I don't want to jinx it too much.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say that touch from Debu has to be better. For it to spill out into the middle like that, that's a relatively. He should be making that save. That touch really is gonna bite them. Rayo on the other side, that will go wide. Unfortunately for them, he would have sent another one back in. I thought maybe they go for the redirect, but no challenge coming in off a backboard for Ari. Still in the corner, gets the boost as well. That was a chance over to Debu off the ceiling. I like this aggression from the Flyers. They're kind of reading that Victory are taking more time, having that possession on their side. Trying to counter-attack on that one. Ari up for this one. Rayo will go flying past. No boost to follow up on it, though. Over to the middle for Debu. Link will take over off the corner. No second touch from him. Doesn't get the boost either. Ari all the way back by himself.
Oh boy.
All three players for the Flyers are swarming. He still gets the save. And all credit to Ari on that one. That situation looked hopeless.
And Ori, a defensive player that has seen a lot of shots in his time in Rising Star, like you said, has wanted to be in Challenger for a long time. And I mean, it definitely has the defensive structure to do it. It's going to come down to, what does he want out of his teammates to put together a winning effort? What does he want? And it's got to be the defensive side of the ball. That really has been every single team he's been on has been a defensive team that has found a way to get stops. I think he's got to focus on that here, as Rayo not able to get it done. Able to get it done. What am I saying? Brainerd not able to hold the lead.
That goal doesn't count.
That goal does not count. I'm not even.
I didn't see anything.
I can't even think as to how that went in. It just did. It just counts. It's a goal.
Yeah, just one of those where the 50 does not go in your favor, not even a little bit, and that will find that way back into the Victory goal. That might be another one for Rayo off the course. Crossbar. I can't even talk. Iwu to follow up on it, and in the blink of an eye, the Victory lead that they were enjoying so much is now gone.
Iwu, to me, Tibbles just does not look like a sub. I don't know what it is. he is definitely not a sub in this stature of the game. As just for me, really has been the difference maker. Has been the one to step up when they need it the most, and overall, that for me is screaming step up. But Blasky stepping up here is absolutely massive.
Yeah, sorry. A little bit of ice in my mouth. But yeah, that shot coming in, the miss on the defense is another problem. But they need to cut that out on both sides, actually.
Indeed.
They
EU
will
needs to
fix the
stop
problems.
scoring.
Yeah, I think Victory would agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, EU needs to stop scoring, otherwise this series is going to be over. As they are looking at a good opportunity for the side of the Flyers to put this game to bed in 4. And I think overall it would be the best thing that they can do to get this series done, because you do not want this game to extend any longer. Because we've seen what has happened with Brainerd as they've gotten better and better, Tibbles, as this series has gone on, able to rebuttal somewhat, but the defensive side of the ball still is plaguing them.
It is. And they have 30 seconds to get back on the offensive side because they do need a goal to tie up the game in Game 4 here. And they do need to win this game if they want to take it to Game 5, possibly win the series. They have a lot of work to do. First, they'll have to break out of their corner. Back to Blasky on the backboard. Follow up on that second touch. Iwu on that side. I like that touch just to burn time off the clock. He knows exactly what to do, right? He's the sub coming in, but I love the game plan that they have. That 50 from Blasky means that 0 seconds on the clock. Victory will have to keep this one up if they have any chance or any hope of scoring. Over to Blasky, getting bumped away, and Flyers, with their sub in tow, will take the series in Game 4.
And they're able to put it to bed, Tibbles. And honestly, I think they did a good job of not letting this game go any longer. Because if it went any longer, we would be looking at a win, possibly in Game 5 for the Brainerd Victory. Honestly, they were getting better as the series went on, getting more and more momentum. And I think overall, that's really what you want to focus on. If you're on the side of the Brainerd Victory, is you got better and better as the series went on, Tibbles, and it wasn't totally about how well you were able to put the ball in the back of the net. It was just defense, small defensive mistakes that are 100% fixable.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like both teams have a little bit to work on. I think it's more so on the side of the Victory. I think Flyers, for the most part, looked really good. There were times when the defense were awkward, touches were not coming through, and Victory were able to find their way back in. I don't think without those mistakes they would have had a chance. I think that would have been a sweep. A win in 3 games for the Flyers. But Victory do put up a stand, and that is a positive sign for them. But they have a lot to work on. I think they didn't look like their best out there. I was expecting a little bit more from Ari and Blasky, but I'm sure they'll come back stronger next week.
And St. Cloud really, for me, stepped it up when it mattered. They matched the side of Brainerd so many times. When Brainerd came back and were able to get goals on the board, they matched them. They found a way to find in the back of the net, and are able to put the game to bed. And really, that is really what was the defining characteristic for this series.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I do have to run. And
no problem. I can send us to a break if we need to. It was an incredible series. I'm super excited to see what we get for the rest of the night. But we've got one more series. It's the St. Paul Senators taking on the Burnsville Inferno, and we will see you guys when that series comes up.
I wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain. I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm on get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the nirvana. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe it, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. 'Cause I'm stuck now.
What's coming at you? Like monsters in the night, and you feel the danger that makes you wanna hide. When the cards are stacked against you, and you're standing on the edge, now's the time, now's the time. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome.
Welcome back to Midwest Championship Series Week 1, Rising Star, Season 9. Let's take off all the details of this one, of this night tonight. And right now, we got the St. Paul Senators up against the Burnsville Inferno. Now, we're going to see some top secret information about how these teams are performing. Of course, it's on stream. We're on stream right now, so it's not super
very
top secret. Not very top secret. But you know what? I've had some intel on how this has been going for some of these teams, and we'll have to see if that's reflected in the game right here. But of course, alongside me is Wolf, who has been running production all night tonight, so give a shout out to him in the chat. But we're gonna get game 1 off started right here.
Yep, shout out as well to Tibbles for casting extra. Love to get at least one match off of Stewie's mind. Oh my goodness, what is that flick from Block Belt? Already some mechanical prowess on that flip, but we're gonna have to see how this Burnsville team plays. I feel like Mal's always been so close. We saw him get to LAN last season, but unfortunately Cloudy, one of the star players on their team, could not make it to day 1, and so they couldn't make a deep run, and got eliminated in that day 1. We're gonna have to see if this is the team, he's going to bring to LAN, or if there's going to be some changes that need to be made. Jake shot on target! A minute in, and the Inferno take a goal lead in game number 1.
Yeah, great shot from Jake, just recognizing that he has basically an open net to shoot at, providing that Caesar doesn't get back in time. And you know what, that brings me into that point about Caesar that I wanted to make. Because I saw this roster, and I don't know the other 2 players on his team. I don't know the 2 players on
they are rookies.
Excuse me, on St. Paul on the Senators. But Caesar winning Challenger last season. All right, Seppi. All right, there we go. That's the introduction that he wanted. Caesar winning Challenger last season, now finds himself in Rising Star, but looks pretty well so far.
Yep, it's a really good pass from Shig, rocking the Gentlemates Alpine decal. As they just won the major over in Copenhagen. But Caesar might have an open net here. Top left, going to be denied, though, on an open net. Mal was able to get back in time. And, yeah, Caesar with that experience, interesting enough, I feel like he's going to find himself another challenger spot, if I had to guess. I mean, look at him go. Yeah. He's already got another goal. Already. He started off, I believe, on the Mankato Atlas Rising Star team, and then found himself teaming with Calster and Mako through that first trade window, and never looked back. As Caesar celebrating in the cameras, we love to see it. But Senators, 2 goals to their name, and I mean the quality of shots, they're utilizing each other, and it's looking right now like they're the favorites currently in this series. You don't want to give Caesar a free ball. Apparently Caesar can double touch it on LAN, which is absolutely terrifying. Have not seen Caesar play with ours except for on LAN, so that was a pleasure to watch. But Jake, low 50, no boost, gonna pop it up. Mal should have a decent look at it, but Black Belt goes up as well. Both kind of had an angle at it, but Mal had lateral movement. I feel like he would have had a more dangerous touch, if you will, if Black Belt had let him go for that one.
Pulling out the big words here.
Whoa.
With a lateral.
Wait, no. Can you tell I'm tired?
No, I absolutely agree. Vertical. Jake's gonna drive that one forward. I'll leave it back for Jake, actually. Seppi. We'll leave it for Caesar as well. And I like that play from Caesar as well, because he's basically a throwaway touch on the goal for Black Belt. Having to do some defense here. That's a miss from Caesar. Might be a chance for Maul. can't turn around it on it in time. We'll give it away. Jake in the corner now. Seppi one touch out. Block belt to turn around on it. Maybe block belt trying to get something going here. And, you know, that throwaway touch that he had before allowed Caesar to basically get a touch to himself and put that shot on goal and then in the goal. And those are touches that Rising Star, you're going to see that a lot. For those challenger players who have experience in that upper league, that upper echelon within MCS, excuse me, you know, they're going to be able to read those touches, pass it to them themselves, get a shot on target like Caesar did. So you really have to watch out. Like you said, you can't give him the ball. You can't give him the ball and space. You're going to have to take away one of those from the situation. And it's been a lot of back and forth in about the past minute as I've been talking. Maul, it's a little awkward from him, and it will come back to bite him because Shig did capitalize on it.
Yep, Caesar with the initial touch, and Mal just an awkward takeoff. Couldn't get her, you know, a touch out into safety. Kind of just 50'd it on his own crossbar there, and then, you know, couldn't get back to it. It was a good attempt to get back to it, but I mean, you have to respect your teammates' possession, and I mean, at that point, you'd have been double committing. It was just a very messy defensive situation there for the Inferno, and I mean, Senators will gladly take that. I mean, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of St. Paul, though. They're finding each other, and that's what I think Bemidji did so well in Challenger. They were the one team that could consistently pass to each other, whether that was, you know, long passes downfield or, you know, short passes to each other. They're able to find each other so much. Yeah, at least by the end of that LAN. And so, really cool to see out of them week one that they can pass the ball to each other. And I mean, they've got a 2-goal lead here. I'm looking at Mal on the Inferno side to step up his, you know, mechanics, and his consistency is kind of terrifying to play against, especially at the Rising Star level. He's one of the players that I thought could have a chance to go Challenger, but currently in Rising Star. Block belt, though, with a huge shot, and with 20 seconds left. Block belt, I think, with the celebration there. But Seppi, poor touch off the wall, and block belt's going to score.
Kind of a repeat of what we saw with Maul. That awkward touch off his own backboard. Now it's Seppi, who will give the ball away in front of his goal, and of course concede a goal for it. Just about 15 seconds now for... sorry, for them to try and break out. They were all in a line, waiting for that first man to go. And they need someone to go, because they have 5 seconds to make this happen. It is not on the right end of the field right now. Block belt, missed the attempt. Over to the flick. Oh, I thought Jake maybe was up for that one to try and put it through, but no, and Senators will take game one. But I feel like, sorry, keep forgetting, Burnsville. Excuse me, Burnsville. I felt like they had some rush. They had some, go up and get him, but it came too late. It was at the end of game one, where really that should have been the energy throughout the game. And for the Senators, they're not impenetrable. I'm going to pull out a big word too, if I can even say it. But, for Caesar, they had some awkwardness on the rotations with him and Seppi. So, for Inferno, definitely positive looking forward. They do have chances to try and get this going, to try and take this series, but it's going to have to be a better performance than that.
I mean, outside of those defensive, mistakes that we saw, super awkward mistakes, honestly, from Burnsville that I don't think they will happen again. I think the way that, they conceded, I just don't think that's how they usually play Rocket League. Maybe it's, week one nerves, not used to playing with each other. I just don't think you can rely on that if you're, St. Paul, but it's a comfortable win. I really liked what I saw out of St. Paul. Much more coordinated team in that game one. And heading into game number two, I'm still looking at St. Paul here. In my eyes, probably the favorites, but what we're seeing out of St. Paul here, if we can, clean up those awkward defensive touches, I think we have a really close series on our hand, and it could, just flip the switch immediately here in game two, especially if Mal's going to start off hot. Cannot get the ground double as Caesar, off of the ceiling, carries his flip, but cannot get a following touch on it, as Block Belt in the corner going to take a 50.
And those are the kind of touches that, for Challenger or ex-Challenger players coming in, I believe he has Premier experience as well from quite a while ago. You're going to expect those touches. You're right. You're going to have those mechanics, that ball control. But I want to go back to what you said about Maul earlier, because I have to agree that he is one of those players that has always been solid, right? He always plays well. You know really what you can expect from him, and those are pretty good performances. And as I say that, I mean, look at that carry. Look at that across the field, Wolf will just carry it through, take the 50, get the dunk down, and this guy hasn't won LAN, but for me, he has been one of the most consistent players. You know what you're going to get: mechanics, great shots, and goals.
Yep. And it's a really nice kickoff to follow it up, but I really like what Block Build is doing as well as he gets a demo there. But even prior, he was chasing down that Senator defense, making them uncomfortable while Mal was up in the air carrying the ball. I absolutely love that, as he's just being so useful off of the ball. And it's not rare to see that, but it's definitely hard to come by consistently, especially at any level. I feel like, I mean, Bubbly Reaper is the only person I can think of, and maybe a few others that are consistently going for bumps and demos. And for you to constantly have that mindset, for my teammate to have the ball and for you to clear the path, it's easier said than done to actually execute on those bumps. And Black Belt's been doing a really good job here in this game number 2, and they've gotten the 1-goal lead, and they're back onto offense.
They are back on offense. Block Belt getting bumped away. As you say that, Seppi might have actually messed up that play. No double touch from Caesar. Shig with that shot coming through, and they might have had a chance otherwise. But I think, like you said, it's a lot easier said than done. Getting demos, not only executing and actually getting the demo, but the timing on it as well, I think is one of the more nuances for Rocket League. Maul with a chance here to drop that one down. He won't find the touch, the connection on it. Over to Caesar off the wall. On that carry, Maul will just return the favor back the other way. Block Belt, no boost to follow up on it. Another demo coming through for Block Belt. The behavior that you described before, he's doing it again. Trying to clear a path for his teammates. And that's one of the most valuable traits that you can have, especially in MCS, where you might not expect it. We almost had a Rule 1. They do break out of it. I think that still counts as a Rule 1, doesn't it?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to do in those situations. I mean, you're down 1. You don't plan for... You're not signing up for a 2v2 league. But out of respect, sometimes, players will hold it. And I don't have nothing against... of course I'm going to be, biased in the booth. As in, you got to stick it. But when I'm actually playing, I don't really mind if they break it or not. Because 3v3 is what you're playing. You're not playing 2v2. So, and I mean, some of those Rule 1s can go on for a long time, as Block Belt gets the second goal for Burnsville, and it's a giveaway, and it's forced out to Mal, and Block Belt immediately there, and it's another big 50 win. Had a goal similar earlier from around the midfield area, that in front of the box, that kind of just went in after a solid 50. And I mean, it's the consistency, it's those 50s, it's the demos. I mean, it's all there right now for Burnsville, as Mal gets a really good touch. Is anybody positioned to cross? Block Belt comes in a bit late. Shig now finds Seppi. Good first touch. Gets it maybe over 1, but Jake on the defensive side is going to deny them.
Great save from Block Belt there. And I like that you really pointed out Block Belt's values, because he's a player that has really grown into this spot in Rising Star. Maybe was a little bit lower level at first, but has really improved. And I actually picked him up, a few seasons ago with that team with Gatormelon. And Gatormelon had raving reviews for this guy, instantly improved as a team, a really cool guy to be playing with. And he's putting the performances here as well, scoring goals, getting that dunk, getting good challenges in, and on the defense as well, keeping them in it. Does get bumped there in the midfield. We'll come back to Maul, has to make that save. Over to Shig. Maul is faster on that one. Maybe in counterattack. Nobody's there at all to save that one away, and that is now a 3-goal lead.
And it's such a good play from Mal. I mean, Shig was last back, instantly went. I mean, time was dwindling down, and they were down by 2, and they sent the third man, and Mal just absolutely dust them. And with a 3-goal lead, with 40 seconds left, and possibly a 4-goal lead maybe off the kickoff, It is not looking too good for the St. Paul Senators as Inferno. On offense, majority of this game as Block Built finds another. And it's 2. I was wondering if anybody had a hat trick. 2 goals for Block Built and 2 goals for Mal. I mean, just an absolute phenomenal performance from the Burnsville Inferno in this game too. They didn't really allow themselves to get on defense too much. They kind of just had dominant offensive pressure, and when they were on defense, they kind of just got an immediate save and they were able to counterattack. So they look completely different than they did in game number 1, Tibbles, and they look scary.
They picked up the speed for sure. I think that's a lot of it, is that, you know, they're getting the challenges in, but they also picked up the speed a lot. On the majority of these challenges, they're just there. They're just faster, you know, getting the touches that they need. They will end the game too. They'll tie up the series with a 4 or 5?
4.
4-0 lead. Yeah, like you said, 2 goals for Mal, 2 goals for Block Belt. I would probably expect that to be about right. I would expect the goals to come from them. Jake putting in a shift as well. 4 saves on the defensive side. All of them having shots, all of them getting involved. So for Inferno, they've got to figure it out, right? Lost game 1, they got game 2. All right, tied up the series. They know what to do moving forward. You know, with that physical play, being fast with the ball, getting those challenges in, those shots. For me, it's the Senators, right? Caesar, you know, maybe a little bit quiet, and I feel like he's not going to carry, right? You know, he'll have his moments, of course, but he's not one of the players that will carry you through a series, you know, score a triple flip reset in Rising Star to get you through that, and to get the victory. So they're going to have to work as a team. I think they're definitely going to have to get that teamwork down, those rotations down. And I did ramble for that whole break right there between games, but I'm curious what your thoughts are on that, Wolf.
You know, I mean, obviously, St. Paul has got to find an answer. It wasn't as easy as game number 1 was at all. Burnsville not making mistakes on their defensive end. They were efficient on offense. They looked like a completely different team. And, I mean, I think you go back to physicality. I mean, even though, you know, they had 3... Senators actually had more demos total. I think it was 4-3 in favor of demos from the Senators. I still think you have to look for more opportunities to just slow the play down. Demos and bumps are so crucial in the game currently, and when you don't control the ball, I mean, the bumper demo usually doesn't mean a lot. As, you know, maybe 2 does, though, as that's possibly an open net, but Seppi gonna cut it across, and Mal now into the corner. I think we just gotta see St. Paul get comfortable again on offense. I mean, you know, half the goals from Burnsville were 50 goals, and I don't think you can really rely on that, but maybe you can, because these 50s continue to show weaknesses in their defense, Tibbles.
Yeah. So, okay, all right. So watching that playback, right? Not the best shot from Maul. I don't think it was even on target, and even if it was not a great shot. But they're making the Caesar and company awkward enough that it doesn't matter. The touches they are getting are going right back to Maul, right back to Block Belt. They're putting shots on target.
Oh my.
They're there for the shot. They put another one on. It is saved away, and Block Belt's in for the follow-up. Thankfully for them, Caesar's on the backboard to save that one away, but it's right back to Jake, who puts another shot on. Right there. 10-15 seconds. You want to know about the story for this series, for this game specifically? Right there. That's the storyline right there.
It's an awkward touch, though, from Mal, but Jake is back in time, has possession, just gonna take a shot immediately on net. Block Belt with the demo, but they lose possession as Shig also gets demoed. Another demo, 3 demos. Jake trying to get it past the defense. Shot maybe from Mal, but Seppi to cut it off. Block Belt to follow, and the Burnsville Inferno finally score. They throw literally everything at the St. Paul Senators, and they get it through.
Yeah, and just absolute panic on the side of St. Paul. They need to be able to clear that ball. Touch does not work out, goes right off the backboard. And that's a lot of their troubles, right? Maul, Block Belt, they're going to have experience where they know to go off the backboard. They are going to have that touch if you don't defend it. in the right way, and that's exactly what they're really not doing. They're not putting that defensive work in, covering the backboard, making sure that's off the crossbar again. Jake trying to put that one in, still in the corner though. Out for Shig, and maybe a chance for the counterattack. Hopefully for them, Caesar will try to advance the position, but back to Maul in the corner, 0 boost. Let's steal the boost as well on that corner side, so even more awkward for Caesar off of that touch. Shig will be forced backwards, get a touch away from the offense here. Seppi in the middle, over to Jake, and this pressure will continue to build and build unless they get that touch that they really need.
I mean, they're just keeping it consistent with this speed. They're following each other up. They're getting, you know, a plentiful amount of demos, and it's an open net. I mean, that time they didn't really have to, you know, do much in terms of, you know, the shot, as they did remove the defense. I mean, the other goal took 3 demos and a backboard, you know, bounce for them to be able to score. But, I mean, the Burnsville Inferno just looks so much even more confident than game number 2. And I mean, they're getting better and better as the series goes on, even though they dropped that game 1. I mean, 3 goals to their name, and they're just controlling this game completely. They're moving the ball so well. I mean, they're constantly taking 50s. They're constantly supporting each other, and they're getting demos and bumps. And right now, the Senators are trying to do the same as Seppi disrupting block build on the goal line. It's going to allow Caesar to sink one in.
Yeah, Seppi chasing down the defense in the form of block belt there. And he makes it just awkward enough that jumping for that ball was just not feasible. And I love that change of play, because they've been trying to go for those physical plays, but it has not worked out. Right, the third goal for Burnsville, Caesar went for a bump, but actually bumped block belt into a better position to wait and then put a shot on target. It just wasn't working out for them. I love that goal, because that's what their plan was in action, and executing it actually correctly. So if we can see more of that from St. Paul here, you know, I think they really could take us the distance. A little bit awkward for Shig now in the Burnsville corner. Block belt's just backing up. Let's get bumped away. Seppi across the field, not really to anybody. Caesar will have to jump for that one, but all the way downfield now for Maul. Can he get it middle? What a pass to Jake. What a save from Seppi as well. And he keeps his team in it.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, just a strong effort here from St. Paul. And, I mean, they're doing their best that they can to keep this game close, to try to stop Burnsville and their consistent pressure. Caesar is a touch in. The Senators have had some really good counterattacks, and it might open up a shot here for Caesar, but good defense on the side of the Inferno. Only Mal left, as Seppi gonna race to the left side, kicks it out mid. Can Caesar wrap around in time? It goes almost to the top right, but from that angle, so difficult to put on target. Don't even know if it was possible, as Caesar gonna take a control touch into the corner, but Shig immediately comes out, but maybe not the best touch for the side of the Burnsville Inferno. Feel like if you're the Senators, you have to score almost now. It's a drop down pass to Seppi. It's just floating, as block belt's gonna get a touch. And they have offense. It's just, they just need to get one here soon, Tibbles.
Yeah. And the bumps coming out on the defensive side too. I think St. Paul had a player in place to try and put a challenge on that ball, but immediately gets bumped away, which I thought was so funny. But 5 seconds left, it's just not looking good for St. Paul. I can see their vision. I can see what they're going for. Just hasn't worked out. Flip reset from Shig, but it will not matter. Maul now downfield. If he can get the double, that might be another one. Almost had it, but for Burnsville, they're going to be happy enough to take game 3. Go on match point here. And St. Paul, you know, left scratching their heads. All right, what can we do? Yeah, I think the plays they're going for are just not working out. The timing's a little bit off. But I got to give it to Burnsville. I think they're doing really well. They're capitalizing on their chances, and
I mean,
just keeping that pressure, keeping those shots on.
They increased their demo total by 5 from last game, so they're up to 8 as a team. You know, 3 from Block Belt, 3 from Mal, 2 from Jake. And I mean, they kind of slowed down there at the end, but I mean, they did enough during that game to come out with the victory. And the thing that is constantly on the back of my mind that I haven't talked about yet is how I feel like this team is somewhat impromptu. I mean, looking back at the draft, I think they probably had Mal in their first round radius, but after that, Jake changes his availability to be 50-50 on Thursdays, and he's here in week 1. as that second round pick. And then Block Belt on the draft sheet was listed as drafted. And so Block Belt fell to the third round. And now this Burnsville team could be super scary, on paper from the draft. And, we saw, a bit of a downfall in game number 1, but ever since then, they've looked like the favorites here in this one. And, they look like a team that had a scuffed draft that went in their favor too, Stibbles.
Yeah, a little bit lucky that for Burnsville that they did get Block Belt in the third round, because I know a lot of GMs that wanted him in the second round. Thankfully that's never happened before. Hopefully will never happen again. I'm sure Burnsville will be very happy about that. And I can see why. I can see why Block Belt was meant to go in the second round, because he's putting in a great performance, has improved a lot as a player, and really has that all-around space. Jake will be off. Maul to follow up. It just looks so simple for Burnsville. And again, looking at that defense for St. Paul, they have that challenge, and then awkward on the back line, shot up for Burnsville.
Yep, and Shig was covering, the on-target shot, bounced off the post, and didn't bounce off the post nicely for the defense. Just went out central, and of course, that time Burnsville was ready for it. Caesar, though, in the air, going to take a 50. Shig a bit late to follow it up, but does get a challenge. Caesar now with one touch, cannot get back to it, though. Zero boost, and is going to be floating Block Belt with the counterattack. Shig, good challenge out. Caesar with a really good cut there to disrupt a shot attempt, probably, from the Burnsville Inferno, but you got to take it one game at a time at this point. 2 players, though, commit for Senators, and their low boost here. Can Mal do something? From the left side, Seppi going to force a challenge. Shig goes missing, and now Caesar just going to have a light pop forward, but it might work well for them. Jake's going to opt to control, but Caesar just waiting for him to get done with his possession and look for a 50, but nobody there for St. Paul. Now there's 2 people there to follow up, I guess. It's just somewhat chaotic, I feel like, for the Senators when it doesn't really have to be.
Absolutely, but they're a positive note. They are on the Burnsville side. To be fair, they are putting on offensive pressure. Stepping off the ceiling, and won't be too threatening for Maul, and that one does get the save. Jake downfield now. They'll have to return the ball to the Burnsville side if they want to put more pressure on. They might do that, courtesy of Caesar. Tries to get one through. Maul will return that favor. And I think Caesar, is doing his best to really try and get... He's a leader of men, right? He's going to try and get his team forward, get them on the same page. Just a miss from Maul. Maybe downfield for Shig. Off the wall. Caesar to follow up on it. He'll be off target. Jake in the corner. Seppi. Awkwards. Jake goes flying past him. Shig up to the ceiling. Down to the backboard. Maul, a miss from him. Seppi, a fake on that one. Caesar for St. Paul. They're pushing all 3 players forward, and this might come back to bite them. Shig back for the counterattack. We'll try to keep it away from Burnsville here. Again, coming through. Maul
open.
Deciding not to go for that one. Was up too far. Backed out of it way too late for him to have a chance at the ball, and Caesar will equalize.
This was just such an aggressive play from the Inferno. They were trying to set up the bump play, and Jake had 100% trust in the demo. Went for the shot, ends up taking, kind of a 50 that doesn't really go their way, and then Mal's, positioned up, not able to get it out, but Shig with a huge save on the goal line to keep Senators at bay here. 1-all here as Shig... Wait, they're gonna go missing!
What?
The Inferno
What?
take back the lead, and I originally liked this because I thought he was gonna take like a slow touch or like leave it for a teammate, but it's just a miss, and Block Belt is gonna capitalize on a free goal.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. The inconsistency on getting those touches through will come back to haunt you. That's what Block Belt did. He just sent the ball up to the heavens, waited for it to come down, waited for the miss to come through, and then scored the shot. It was very simple at the end of the day. And that has to be cleaned up for St. Paul. Otherwise, they will not find success. Or it will come with very much difficulty, I have to say. But they are still in this game. That's another miss on the back line. Shig will have to dive for that one. Does make that save. Caesar now, 1v1 with Block Belt. Can't get the 50 through. Over to Jake on the wall. No boost to work. We'll have to give it away. No, Shig won't be there for the challenge. And I feel like that's St. Paul's main problem, is that I don't necessarily blame Burnsville for throwing 3 players forward. having faith that the play will work, because every time they do, St. Paul are not in a position to counterattack. Every time they have a chance, they're almost never in a position to take advantage of it. Blackwell will put another shot on, 50 coming through. Save now, clear attempt from Seppi. And that Caesar goal was really kind of the exception to the madness. So if they can repeat that for St. Paul, for Caesar, for Shig, put that one through, they will equalize, and that's exactly what I was looking for from them.
Yep, Caesar back on offense, and they let him bounce it to the corner, back to himself. Mal and Block Belt not able to, force his touch or get a touch, within that span of time. And you need to be active on defense, and that's what makes it so awkward when you're not. It forces... it's like they're both playing a goal line save. They're both waiting for the shot when someone needs to be on the ball just to force a touch. Maybe not to, you don't even have to touch it at all, but this time Mal gets it immediately back. It bounces off of the post inside, and Seppi just rushes. And it's around him on the defensive side. 54 seconds left. It's a blunder. And after the Inferno blundered, it's just a gift right back at them from the St. Paul Senators.
Yeah, but Burnsville are in a much better position to try and keep that gift. I feel for the Senators because they really had it. They were back in the game. Maybe bring it to overtime. Maybe steal a goal right at the end of this game 3, or game 4, excuse me. But it's not looking great right now. 30 seconds left. They will have to find something soon. Shig, that shot's on target off of a pretty small angle. Maul will make the save though. Back in the midfield. Seppi will leave it for Caesar. Over to Shig, shot touch. Off target, but can he get the follow-up through? Maul will dive in front to get that save away.
No.
And pinch downfield means Caesar finds himself in the midfield once again with cars flying at him.
Mal just did the most perfect job he could, but there might be an opportunity for St. Paul here. Caesar gonna get beat out though. 3 seconds left. All they gotta do is drop it once this goes up. Shig gonna have to go the full length of the field. Could not get a touch, and that will drop. And that will do it here. And such a great win there. I really put a lot of respect on that Mal play at the end of the game where, just incredible defense to just be there at the right time to block the shot off of a really good setup pass, but Mal was just all over it. And then they pinched it all the way down to the Senators' end. And that was such a great solo play, defensively towards the end of that game to end it. And that was enough to, take Burnsville over the finish line and not have them go to game 5 where they'd, start another race. But Tibbles, we've made it through Rising Star Week 1 already. And the Inferno are on top in this one. 5 demos. They had 3 they did win game 2 with 3 demos, but ever since then they had 8 demos. They had 5 in this one. There's just a consistent pattern we're seeing, and it really just looks like they're a force to be reckoned with if they keep playing like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Burnsville, I think maybe they had some difficulties coming in, but I think week 1 they really proved their doubters wrong. And I think the team is complete. Draft drama aside, whether Block Belt was round 2, round 3, I think his physical play brings a lot to the team. Jake, filling in, covering the gaps, and Maul is just the X factor for Burnsville here on their Rising Star squad. I think he plays really well. Basically saved his team from going to overtime in game 4 on that last play. It might have gone in, right? It might not. We don't know for sure, but Maul essentially ensures that did not happen, and that can't be overrated. I guess I could say. I think they're a really good team. I'm excited to see what they have next week. But before that, we will have Challenger action tomorrow.
Yep, Challenger action. Challenger week 1 going down at 6 p.m. Central just tomorrow, where we will see their first appearances of MCS Season 9, but that'll do it for myself and Tibbles, and for Stewie for commentating, as well as Crispy. Huge shout out to the broadcast booth here. Just incredible
follow
work.
Us on Twitter.
Yes, follow us on Twitter.
And follow MCS on Twitter.
More so importantly, follow MCS on Twitch, Twitter, any social, you'll find us, Midwest Championship Series. But that'll do it. You guys all have a great night, and we will see you guys tomorrow for Challenger gameplay.